Enrolled in a butter-churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
When poison happens, Poison Help is here. We're the free 24/7 hotline that answers your poison questions. With expert advice available at no charge. Make the right call in a poison emergency. Call Poison Help. 1-800-222-1222.
Hey, it's Adam Gold from my friends at FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Puckheads, the run for the Stanley Cup continues, and FanDuel wants you to be part of all the victories along the way. And right now, new customers can jump into the excitement. $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. FanDuel is the best place for all of your favorite player props. Anytime goal scores, first goal scores, assists, shots on goals, and more. You can build a same-game parlay even for a chance for even a bigger payout. FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel. 21 and over and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Pros, save more on the materials you need to get the job done, inside and out, at Lowe's. Right now, get 10% off in-stock Trex Naturals decking, now available in more styles. Plus, get 15% off select custom entry, interior, and storm doors. Then, we'll deliver it all straight to your job site to help keep your jobs moving. Get the brands pros trust, priced right, and ready when you need them. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. It just feels like the middle of July out there, very muggy. We'll see variably cloudy skies. It's hot out there with highs in the upper 80s. And once again, we'll have a round of scattered showers and storms late afternoon into the evening. A low tonight around 70 under mostly cloudy skies. And we'll just repeat tomorrow. Partly cloudy in the afternoon with a high of 88 and a chance for thunderstorms.
3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 257 points to 50,718.
Guerrier scrumming forward. Willie out in front. They shoot and score! Shane Gostisbehere. The forecheck in effect for Carolina. And it's 1-0. Off the boards. Miller comes in. Backhand chance out in front. Dover shoots. They score! They score! It's Taylor Hall on the doorstep and comes through with a big goal. Jarvis has to settle it. He'll get it right back. A chance. They score! They score! Andrei Svechnikov wins it in overtime!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Happy game day, everybody. Game 4. Canes, Canadiens tonight. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. And that also informs you a bit on what we have going on today's show. First goal scorer predictions in the 4 o'clock hour. Cup check-in. Insight, 2 most important players. In addition to how we start every show. But before we do that, I'm Tim Donnelly. Dennis Cox back producing for today. And now we can start it the way we always do. That is with the Big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
Canes, Game 4 versus Montreal tonight at 8 p.m. By the way, the Big 3 at 3 is presented by Maynard Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. Whatever's going on in your house, with your house, or commercial property as well. Check them out online, MaynardServices.com, MAYNOR Services.com. Canes Game 4 versus Montreal tonight. Canes lead the series 2-1. dropped game one, have won each of the next two in overtime, 3-2, both of them. Games 2, games 3, one at home, one on the road, same result. So just pencil in overtime. Make sure you know, if you're recording the game, make sure you record the hour after it's scheduled to stop. So when you come back, it's there. It's a credit to Montreal that these games are going to overtime, because they're not getting many shots. They're not getting many opportunities to score. The Canes are dominating, at least they have in games 2 and 3, large portions of the game, yet they're staying close because Montreal is finding a way to capitalize on significantly less opportunities. It makes you nervous going to overtime, because you don't want to let one slip out of your fingers. You feel like you meaning the Canes, have done everything they could do and should do to win, yet you're going to overtime and anything, crazy things can happen. Matter of fact, Montreal, despite the fact that they went the last however many minutes of the regulation without even getting a shot, almost immediately in overtime had a rush opportunity where you're like, what is going on here? No harm, no foul. Canes got out of it. They end up winning the game. Shout out to the top line, the Aho line, that all contributed in their own ways to the Svechnikov goal to win it, which I think puts right now at a pretty I'm going to use a word that I make fun of, pivotal part of the series. And what I mean by that is there is a pressure point for Montreal. Right now is if you got any great ideas, use them. Right now is all right, game 2 didn't go our way. Games 3, we tried to see if we could just kind of be stubborn and do a lot of the same things and bully our way through it. Didn't work again. They're probably going to be changing something now. Now, what is that change? That's why they pay Rod Brindamore the big bucks, right? He has to anticipate whatever they're going to do to drum up more shots, to give them a few more opportunities, to fight back against the physicality of the Carolina Hurricanes, and the Canes have to be ready to counterpunch or to proactively stop their attacks. And then, obviously, I think the beginning of this game is wildly important. First period, first 10 minutes, wildly important. We know the difference in usage, right? We know the difference in minutes. We know over the last 39, 40 days, the Canadiens have played 17 games. The Canes have played 11. We know that. So Montreal is going to come out and give everything they absolutely can. And in that arena, with the Bell Center's energy, with all of the people wearing the jerseys and all of the mystique, and you're standing, 10 feet away from all the ghosts that won all those trophies, well, they're going to depend on that to keep them going. So if the Canes can shut them up early, I think there could be some E-lights on their dashboard. A little gas tank popping up and start dinging if the Canes can jump on them early. Obviously, as I said, we'll have more on that throughout the show, including first goal scorer predictions, Hurricanes and Cons and everything in the 4 o'clock hour. That is number 1. Let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
Carolina Panthers started their OTAs yesterday, their organized team activities. It was, first, there's like the franchise side of it, and then there's the football side of it. Franchise side of it is, man, is that indoor practice facility looking like a good idea? Because the beginning of their practice, if you saw any of the clips, looked like they were playing in like a water park of some kind. They standing under the big bucket that tips every 5 minutes. They were just getting dumped on by rain. So that's the franchise side of it, right? The indoor practice facility looking like a good idea. The football side of it is, I take almost nothing from anything that requires chemistry when you're watching OTAs, right? If a ball is a little off target, well, you don't know if it's off target or if that wide receiver was a little hesitant running their route or cut it off a little early. If it takes chemistry, they're not supposed to have chemistry yet. Tedero McMillan didn't even practice. So the one that is probably dependent on the most to already have chemistry with Bryce didn't practice. Defensive backs, if there's a breakdown, well, it's like, oh, you said Toro. I thought you said Zorro in the check. Like, I'm not upset about any of that. There are a few things, though, that I do think you can take away. One is how injured or formerly injured players are moving. Because, we've all seen somebody who's like, obviously, like, I'm not hurt, coach, but then you watch them run and it's like left, right, left, right, left, right, rather than a smooth gait. So you can take some of that away, just the eye test of some injured guys, especially the explosive skill positions. Linemen are more difficult to just know with the eye test. And then the other thing is kind of the social dynamics. The social dynamics meaning leadership, meaning whose body language looks like they're ready. Those types of things I do think you can take away from OTAs. Who's excited to be there, who's getting through it, all those sorts of things. And by all accounts, Bryce Young was grabbing the bull by the horns. There was some of that going on, especially once the rain died down and maybe the sloppiness that was being attributed to the rain stuck around for a little bit. The reporters on location, some of them had the film. He let everybody know that it was unacceptable. Dave Canales spoke to the media, and he talked about Bryce as a leader at OTAs, and we have the audio for you on that right here.
Just total command of the system and knowing what he's looking for, the timing of things, and the more that he owns it, the more he's looking for specific things out of the tight ends, wideouts, and backs as the concepts come alive. And, I heard him get a little bit passionate about, we got a little bit of a monsoon for a second there in practice, and once the rain had passed, he was like, hey, let's lock back in. We got to come up with these balls. And I think he said it in a little more colorful language than that. But I just love it. I love the fact that he's taking ownership and the guys see that and rally around that, and something that they all appreciate.
There is a theme that I think is going to be building and building and building for Bryce Young and for the Panthers, the coaching staff, a lot of guys actually, which is this is the no excuse season. And part of that comes with it's an entire offseason where you're the guy again, entire offseason where they've been building the offense to your parameters, tailor fitting it for you. And because of that, you get to focus on the details you want to focus on. You get to get on people between snaps rather than going to the coach and saying, is that how we want it run? What do we want here? So you can pay attention to social dynamics to everybody else. No stone left unturned. No excuses. That is number 2. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
I was told that today we should have, by this time and within the last 10 minutes, the game times for the Week 0, Week 1, and Week 3 college football seasons.
We do have those, actually.
We do have them. Dennis, What do you have for us?
So we know that Week 0 starts the season for both North Carolina and NC State. North Carolina taking on TCU, that game being played out in Ireland. That's a noon kickoff, Week 0 on August 29th. NC State versus Virginia, that game being played down in Brazil. That game's a 3:30 kickoff, also on ESPN as well. But both of those schools, because they're playing the Week 0 game, actually don't have a game Week 1. So they actually don't play again until Week 2. Now, Week 2, NC State, their first home game of the season, it's Friday, September 11th, Week 1. They have a 7 o'clock game at home against Richmond. So that's their home opener. It's Week 2, and it's a Friday night game. North Carolina has their home opener, Week 2, against East Tennessee State. That's a noon kickoff on the ACC network on Saturday, September 12th. And then Duke also begins their season. They are home Week 1. They have a 3:30 kickoff Saturday, September 5th at home against Tulane to start the season. So no Week 1 game for UNC and NC State because they play Week 0. Duke plays on Week 1. And then Duke also on Week 2 travels to Illinois on Saturday, September 12th. That is a 3:30 kickoff. And then Week 3, we have Week 3 is when North Carolina visits Clemson, ESPN. That's a noon kickoff on Saturday, the 19th. That same day, NC State's at Vanderbilt at 12:45, and then Duke is home against Stanford that day as well.
So what you're seeing is all three teams that we follow closely trying to artificially boost ratings in their own way. Week 0 is a great way to boost your ratings because there's not as much competition for eyeballs.
Yeah.
Friday games are a great way to boost ratings because there's not as much competition for eyeballs. Something like playing Illinois Week 2, which will be a buzzier matchup than most traditional non-conferences, which is what Duke's doing.
That game is on FS1, by the way, because it's at Illinois.
Which is another way to boost ratings and grab different eyeballs for your program, which used to matter, but matters a lot more now that the ACC pays out their media rights money differently based on the average television ratings and buzz and all these ways they measure which teams have the biggest brands. So it's I think a really solid, as far as entertaining, first 3 weeks of games, or first 3 games for each team. But also, I don't think it's an accident. I think they're trying to game the system a little bit, which you should, right? And any advantage you can find, you absolutely should.
We also know that Week 8, October 23rd, NC State is going to be at Stanford. That's also a Friday night game. That's a 10:30 p.m. Eastern kickoff.
I don't know if that helps or hurts, because 10:30 you're going to get all the degenerates. You're everybody that's chasing losses, my gamblers out there, they're going to be up watching, but obviously a lot of the casual fans might be off to Never Land or Sleepland might be.
I say in bed?
Yeah, exactly. Eyes back of their eyelids. But who knows? Maybe they'll fall asleep with the game on TV. You'll get that rating anyway as they slumber. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Obviously, we'll break that down a little bit more in the offseason. Although, you want me to talk some trash real quick? A lot of NHL markets are probably already circling college football because they still don't have teams alive. Just 3 teams left for the Stanley Cup Finals, or for the Stanley Cup, I should say. Vegas eliminated Colorado last night, so it's Vegas out of the West and either Montreal or the hometown Canes coming out of the East. How will tonight impact that Eastern Conference Finals series? Stick around. That's coming up next.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Calling all Caniacs, come watch the playoffs at Carolina Ale House as the official Canes road game headquarters. Carolina Ale House is hosting viewing parties for the Hurricanes away games. Join us for indoor-outdoor viewing parties at our Cary location throughout the playoffs. Think of it as a hometown tailgate. You just bring a lawn chair, enjoy food and beers from the outdoor bar, and watch on our enormous TV. Visit CarolinaAlehouse.com/Canes to learn more, or keep an eye on our social media. Ale yeah, and go Canes!
Squirrels, nail pops, even bullet holes. This is Holly from Roofworks, and those are some of the main things we see that cause roof leaks. It's never a bad idea to stick your head in the attic periodically and check sheetrock on the ceiling and walls. Finding problems early can save you hundreds to thousands of dollars. Roofworks wants to help you stay ahead of the game with preventative maintenance for your home or business. At Roofworks, we don't want to be the biggest, we just want to be the best. Roofworks.com. That's roof, WERKS.com.
Here's a giveaway. Svechnikov with it, trying to beat both Hudson and Dobson. Svechnikov will hang on to the puck. Send across. Jarvis has to settle it. He'll get it right back. A chance. They score! They score! Andrei Svechnikov wins it in overtime!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Was it Andrei Svechnikov's game winner? Was it tipped by Aho? Was it Svech? Was it Aho? Was it Svech? The official score went back and forth like 3 times after the game. I thought it was hilarious because it was very obvious the Canes did not care. I just imagine like some team official keeps being told by the league, like, can you go let him know that it was Aho's goal? Walks in there. We don't care. 5 minutes later, can you go let him know it's Fetch's goal? Walks in. We don't care. I have to tell you. What do you want me to do?
It was funny in the locker room after the game. We were asking a couple like league officials and team officials, being like, "So, is it Aho or is it Svetch?" Like they're like, "I don't know." They flip back and forth like, "We don't know." We just don't know.
It was funny on the broadcast. They were interviewing Aho, like the TNT crew, and towards the end of it, they're like, "Hey, by the way, that goal that we asked you about at the beginning, it's not yours, it's Svetch's. See ya." Officially, there you go. He was like, yeah, okay. Don't care. Which is very true. They don't care. And it's part of Canes culture. It's part of any good team culture, right? Like a game winner especially. Who the heck cares? Who gets credited for it, right? Everybody gets a 20th of a goal tonight. That'd be fine. But it is, I think, when you've gone through everything the Canes have gone through the last 8 seasons and 8 trips to the postseason, there is much more of a, I don't care if it's pretty. I don't care if it's ugly. I don't care if we win by 30. I don't care if we win by 1 in 30th overtime. It's about getting the win, and it's in a game like that where, right, the winner is going to take a 2-1 lead, and you can steal home ice back from Montreal after they stole it from you in your home arena. All of that just added up to a really cool moment at the end of that game. Dennis, as somebody, you were there, right? So, and we haven't talked to you since. Did the Bell Center go as quiet as I hoped it would?
Yeah.
Yes. That's one of my favorite things in sports is the away arena or stadium going silent when the road team makes the play when you're rooting for the road team. So take that, and hopefully they can do it again.
There's a small contingent of Canes family and friends that were nearby. You can hear them a little bit, but otherwise everyone's like, ah!
When you can hear like specific words being cheered by the 8 people that are rooting for the road team, it's a good time. It's a really fun time. I actually think it's more it's a different kind of fun. I don't know if it's more fun, but it's a different kind of fun than doing it in front of the home arena where everybody goes nuts. I'll throw this one at you quickly here. Did you see anything in Game 3 that you think like particularly pertains to Game 4 tonight? Something that you're looking at, I'll call it sticky, something where you're like, oh, that's not going anywhere. Because everybody has good games, bad games, right? Good decisions end up in bad outcomes. It's hockey, right? The puck bounces in funny ways. But sometimes you see something and you go, oh, that's not going anywhere. They're going to have to address that.
You're talking about in terms of like Carolina?
Anything, really. I mean, it's also sometimes you watch a game and you go, that was just one game. And, next game will be its complete own living beast. So I don't want to, pigeonhole you too much on answering the question.
Well, we know their identity in terms of their forecheck is always going to be there.
Yep.
That's not going to go away. And I think, again, when we didn't see it in Game 1, we all saw the result in that regard. But the one thing that they are very cognizant of, as but they're very intentional about playing physical on the defense of Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
Any chance they get any opportunity they have a chance to hit Lane Hudson, they're gonna make him feel it. They're gonna get a body on those guys. They're just gonna continue to just body blow throughout the course of the game. And then I think what we are seeing, and I said this to someone who is a Canadian media member that was sitting next to me, and he actually agreed with me in this. I said in the third period where there was only one shot on goal for Montreal, we saw something similar in Game 2. I said, I think this is where the rest is paying off for Carolina. I said, this is where the rest is paying off because in the third period, and in overtime, Carolina looks faster. They have the fresher legs. Even Taylor Hall said it after the game. It's like in overtime, they feel like they're fresher and they're stronger. And it's paying off for them. This is where the rest is paying off, whereas Montreal's been to multiple overtimes in each series, and they have obviously won 7 games in each of the first 2. It's just wearing them down.
It's not only the rest of the schedule. It's also the rest of in the third period is where you see the benefits of how comfortable the Canes are playing all four lines, all three defensive pairings. Because you see, like, it feels like it's a Carrier hit and it's on Demidov. Then you see it's a Svetch hit and it's on Demidov. And then you see it's like they're always the same guys for them out there, and rightfully so, right? They're desperate and need the win. But the Canes' depth shines through in that way a lot. And I'll bring some numbers to back up what we're saying here. It was tweeted out by Walt Ruff, Canes team reporter. Canes are out-hitting Montreal 127-65 through the first 3 games of the series.
It's basically 2-1.
Yeah. And speaking of sticky, keep doing it. Keep hitting them. And I know the Canadiens fans think there's like a targeting of Lane Hudson happening or whatever. Keep hitting everybody, right? They'll remember the ones on Lane Hudson because he's a smaller guy that's so important to them, so it'll stick out in their memory. But keep hitting everyone. I've long been tired of the talk about the Canes not being physical enough for this time of year hockey. They're not physical enough. They can't put up with the physicality. That's been one of those just annoying run-on conversations. If you're out hitting basically 2-1 the opposing team in the conference finals, keep doing it. It's working. Keep doing it. Right? That's why the third period you have your legs. That's why in overtime you have your legs, and meanwhile they're getting a little heavier for them because you landed those hits early on. Shout out to Will Carrier. Shout out to the fourth line, if we're being real. That line's been heavy, which I think is not to be overlooked, and it's not, by the way. I don't know. We have first goal score predictions coming up later. If you want to head to Twitter at Donnelly Sports, I have a tweet asking for first goal score predictions. You can reply there. Getting a lot of like Jankowski's. The fan base is noticing what that fourth line is doing, and I think that's credit to Canes fans out there. A little paying attention fan base. Not that I would expect any less, but it's working. And then the another just one of those annoying little run-on narratives that I hope is being dispelled. Montreal's not choosing to take 12 and 13 shots in each of the last 2 games. Okay? I'm seeing a lot of like Canadian hockey media, national hockey media talking about like they can't let the Canes defense off easy by not making them address the shots. They have to get more shots. I'm like, do you think they were choosing to have 12?
And Martin St. Louis even said it earlier today. He goes, yeah, I want more shots on goal, of course.
It's yeah. They did the last 2 games. It's not like, for game 4, they're going to try to get shots to the goalie. They're going to try to make Freddie make saves. They were trying. They couldn't do it. You have to give the Canes some credit on their willingness. I know Montreal blocked 1 billion shots in Game 3.
Yeah, they did.
But the Canes are just as willing, and if they possess the ball in the puck in the offensive zone for a minute and a half, Montreal's not getting any shots when the puck's in the offensive zone for the Canes. Like the things they do have led to the low shot totals for Montreal. Now, do I think they'll be more aggressive or more willing to let it fly if they get any kind of opening? Maybe, but don't take away the credit to the defense of the Canes for holding Montreal to certain low totals, because that's disrespectful.
I think I posted it after the game, is that Carolina had 92 shot attempts, 38 on goal, 35 that were blocked, 19 that missed the net. The Canadiens had 46 shot attempts, 13 on goal, 18 that were blocked, and 15 that missed the net.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it looked like. But just, like, give the Canes at least 50% of the reason why. Maybe Montreal could be more aggressive. It's not like, if they're a little bit more aggressive, they're going to have 30 shots on goal, but they had 12. The Canes were really good and have been, and that's kind of their MO. That's the thing that they're known for.
They officially gave him 13. They did give him 1 in overtime.
They did it in Game 3?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was Game 2 they added the extra.
No, they're Game 3.
They all bleed together. It's a whole long stretch of very little shots.
But it's like, hey, they increased. They went from 12 to 13 shots on goal. They increased it. Congrats.
That's hilarious. I mean, it's not a lot of shots. And the Canes deserve credit for that is what I'm saying. Don't you take that from Keandre Miller. Don't you take that from the forecheck. Don't you rob them of that praise. Chatty and Slavin. I could go on. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I will go on later, but right now we need to hear from Dennis Cox. Dennis, what do you have for us?
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here real quick for my good friends over at Law Tigers. Something that I appreciate about this time of year is the weather warming up. But as we all know here in the state of North Carolina, when the rains do start to come, we get those flash thunderstorms, the humidity picks up. So it's important to obviously be safe when you're out there on the road, but part of motorcycle safety is actually doing all the things when the bike isn't out there on the road. Are you properly storing your bike when the weather conditions are like they are today? It's pretty hot, kind of humid outside. Well, are you storing your bike properly in order to make sure that rust doesn't build up on your motorcycle, in order to make sure that it stays out of the rain? That way, when you do get out there on the road, your bike is in proper working order to prevent an accident from possibly happening. This is why you got to take care of your bike even before you even straddle the bike to get back out there on the road. But if you are injured in a motorcycle accident, make sure you contact Law Tigers at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS even before you get in touch with the insurance company. Your case evaluation is always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. So give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, will be back with some Dean's List action for you. Don't go anywhere. Hey, it's Tim Donnelly, and if you're like me, you're a storyteller, and you need to embrace the haze with Hazy Little Thing from Sierra Nevada. So yeah, if we're sitting around watching the headliner, we want to be talking about when we saw him at the dive bar a few years ago. Or if you stop your friends mid-festival to look at the stars, first of all, do that to me. I love that sort of thing. And then embrace the haze with Hazy Little Thing. Hazy, citrusy, smooth. There's a reason it's America's best-selling hazy IPA. Embrace the haze with Hazy Little Thing from Sierra Nevada. Enjoy responsibly.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar. The better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. So good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Stop by Handy Hugo's for great deals on your favorite Pepsi products. Head to Handy Hugo's today.
Pool days call for cookouts and lots of laundry. This Memorial Day at Lowe's, save $80 on a Charbroil Performance Series 4-burner gas grill. Now just $199. Plus, get up to 45% off select major appliances to keep dishes, clothes, and food fresh. Having fun in the sun is easy with us in your corner. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See associate or Lowe's.com for details.
With Bet365 Early Payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina.
Gilgeous Alexander pulls back. His three is a miss. Long offensive rebound. Out to McCain for three, and he drains it. 15 second-half points for Jaron McCain, giving Oklahoma City a 15-point lead.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Could be a little foreshadowing to who we have on our Dean's List there, the highlight coming out of break. But I do want to remind you, we're going to be talking a ton about the Canes Game 4 tonight. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. 8 o'clock puck drop. I know there was the little throw-off of the schedule. The game over the weekend was at 7. But I would expect almost all of the games moving forward to be 8 o'clock, and that includes tonight, which means 7 o'clock Stormwatch right here on 99.9 The Fan for all the pregame coverage, and then the actual coverage, the actual broadcast will begin at 8. And that's all right here, 99.9 The Fan, as well as the 99.9 The Fan app.
It's weird. The only game time they haven't announced was Game 6, if necessary.
If necessary. Maybe that's why. I want to know if it's needed yet.
It's funny, Game 7's at 8 p.m. if needed.
You can probably build around that a little bit. I mean, if it's Game 7, that'll be electric. We should also mention the Western Conference is complete. Vegas swept Colorado, 4 up, 4 down. So they will be awaiting the winner of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Canes and Montreal in the Stanley Cup Final. Whenever that will start, as you said, we don't know. But for right now, we take a brief hiatus from the hockey talk to get to something we call the Dean's List. And we will get started with the player that was the highlight coming out of break. Former Duke basketball player Jared McCain. He had his first postseason start of his NBA career last night for the Thunder in a Game 5 win for the Thunder over the Spurs. The series was tied 2-2. Thunder won the series, or won the game 127-114. So now they lead 3-2, obviously. Jared McCain scored 20 points in the game, but here's the real kicker. 18 of them were in the second half, and he earned them. He took a bunch of hard fouls. If you were watching the game, elbows, hard, like he was not even setting screens and was getting lit up, ironically, by another Duke player. There's a Plumlee out there that I don't know how well they know each other. Like, decade between their appearances, decade plus for Duke. But he wasn't even setting a screen, wasn't even facing the action, and Mason Plumlee lit him up as if he were setting a screen. There's just a lot of hard fouls, and he did what NBA players do, which is you roll around a little bit, you squint, you wince, you make sure you got the call, then you stand up and you go back to scoring. And he scored 18 points in the second half. OKC did it again, traded a bunch of scraps to Philly for Jared McCain, and looked like he's going to be a cornerstone player for them for a bunch of years. More Dean's List. I'll put Duke football on the Dean's List.
Okay.
They revealed their ACC championship rings, which is cool. They also, which is less cool, revealed their Sun Bowl victory rings. But still, ACC championship rings, that's one that I deem acceptable. Conference championship rings in a power conference, show those off. The random one-off bowls, probably I wouldn't show them off. You can give them to your team, but I wouldn't show them off. But the ACC championship deal is one that you can proudly display.
Is this becoming a thing now? Rings for bowl wins?
I think it might have been a thing, and I was just unaware of it.
Really? Okay, because I was completely unaware. Because remember, Duke's Mayo Bowl champion was Wake Forest.
Yep.
And they had a ring and stuff for us. Like, when did this become a thing?
Last time when we were talking about Wake and kind of teasing them for giving the Duke Mayo Bowl rings, somebody on social media sent me a picture of, I forget who it was. It was a really good player from the 2010s, and they had posted just a pile of rings. And it was because they had conference championship, they had bowl, they had I don't know, you played 4 or 5 years, and the guy had 14 rings, and I'm like, I don't even know how is that possible?
Yeah, how?
I guess they were getting Fiesta Bowl and national championship or something. I don't know. Rose Bowl and national championship, and it was the same game. I have no clue how it worked. Senior Bowl. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Senior Bowl. Yeah.
But I guess the ring overdoneness has been happening, and I also learned, and this was again we were talking about Wake, it's spread to youth sports, where if you win a baseball Thursday through Sunday tournament, you get a championship ring.
Get out of here.
Yeah. I don't like it at all.
Get out of here with that.
I don't like it, but it's happening. But ACC championship, I will say, that's fine.
100%.
I'm fine with that.
100% acceptable.
And make it look cool.
Absolutely.
Do it upright.
Absolutely.
Sun Bowl, maybe take the money that you spent on the Sun Bowl rings, make the ACC championship ring even cooler. Add a few more diamonds.
Does the Sun Bowl, because it's the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, is there like a frosted, like, are the diamonds shaped like Frosted Flakes? Because that would be kind of dope.
Honestly, they were in the same picture, and I looked at the ACC one for a while to be like, oh, that's a cool ring. And then I just went, ugh, when I looked at the Sun Bowl. We'll look it up. I'll show you later. More Dean's List. Do you have any Dean's Listers you'd like to throw out?
I do.
Let's hear it.
Actually, I've one I want to throw out. I don't know if it was mentioned over the weekend, but Chloe Humphrey from North Carolina, single-season record for most goals in a women's college lacrosse history for a single season.
The irony?
Yeah.
Madison something, I forget her name, but it was
Taylor.
Madison Taylor said it the year before for Northwestern.
Lost in the national championship
to
game.
UNC.
Yep.
So the moral of the story is
Don't
stop
set
at
the record.
108. Stop at 108, and you'll win. That's the moral there.
Detention. Women's lacrosse officiating. Detention.
Okay, I did reference this yesterday. So I don't know the rules to women's lacrosse, but I think it was 12-11. Northwestern scored 3 straight goals to go up 12-11.
Yeah.
UNC tied it up, and then the goal was taken away. And based on social media, wasn't a popular call.
No, it should not.
And I don't know why or how, but was not a popular call.
So in women's lacrosse, you're not allowed to obviously step into the crease offensively.
Okay, sure, obviously.
In the men's game, there's a little bit of give to it, but nonetheless, shot was taken by North Carolina. Ball's already in the back of the net, and the goaltender's already turning to go pick up the ball, and then the North Carolina player stepped into the crease. They waved the goal off because of that reason. It's like the ball's already across.
Is this one of those like hand the ball to the ref when you score a touchdown thing? Just so even if you drop it like 5 yards into the end zone, it doesn't, like, they have no way to take it away from you? Like, should you just stay out of the crease for 20 minutes after you score a goal?
It's just, to me, it's the spirit of the rule. It's not what it was intended for. And then there was also a couple other moments as well where a Northwestern player scored later in the game, but their foot was in the crease. But because Carolina didn't have a challenge, they couldn't challenge it, even though it was obvious. So you take a goal off the – so basically there are 3 major plays that either gave Northwestern a goal or took a North Carolina goal off the board. And sure enough, they lost by 3.
All right, a little explanation there. I knew that people were upset about it. I just didn't know.
It was bad. It's a bad look.
All right, bad look.
It's bad for the sport.
I'll take it.
A lot of bad officiating.
There's a lot of complaining about officiating. Last night's NBA, the Western Conference Finals, was marred by a bunch of rough officiating. Eastern Conference Finals, Game 3 of Canes Montreal.
It was bad all the way around.
Yeah, I'm fine with both fan bases being upset as long as they aren't saying it didn't happen to the other as well. Like, be mad about bad calls that happened to your team. Just don't act like it only happened to you. And then, where's obviously women's lax, there's some stuff going on there. Baseball, there's always umps being complained about. So
I think they lean into it.
Some of them I think do, like, they're like, I haven't, how football players sometimes say, like, I got to get hit once to, like, get into the rhythm. Sometimes I think umps are like, I got to get into an argument here or else I don't feel like I'm in the game. Let me take this one that's 2 feet outside. Strike! Just to get somebody glaring at me so I feel alive.
Challenge. No, you didn't. Wait a second.
Challenging's a whole different thing. I feel like that is the only, real quickly, the baseball challenge system seems like the only time when fans can get back at umps or refs.
Yeah.
That, like, they get more excited. Fans, like, cheer more voluminous, louder when somebody gets a challenge correct against the ump than if their own team gets like a hard hit single. Like anything below a double, they'd rather have the umpire get embarrassed than have their team get the good. It's kind of crazy. With that being said, I hope tonight part of the story is not the refs in the Canes Montreal game. Let's settle it on the ice like gentlemen. That's what I hope for. Dean's List, dismissed. I should have said, let's settle it on the ice like gladiators. I don't want them gentlemen. You don't got to be friends with them. Just want it to be within the rules. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll give our two most important players, Dennis will, I will, for the Canes tonight. If they want to take that 3-1 lead, who does it rest on? Stick around.
Hey, it's Amanda here, back again with Coach Pete. Coach, every time I turn on the TV, it's just like doomsday, and I'm scared to invest and all this. What should we do? How should we avoid all of this mess?
You know why they do that? Because you keep watching. If
true.
it bleeds, it leads. They just say in the news business. They never show good news. So the good news for you is that there's ways around the bad things, but you need to isolate yourself from all the minutia and all the talk that's out there. So put a plan together. Make sure that plan is bulletproof, and then don't worry about what they say on the news because your plan's not tied to the news anymore. So we need to get our plan away from the bad news, and we do that. We put together income plans that only give you the upside potential of the market, never the downside, and they give you a lifetime income. Amanda, our clients love this. A lifetime income they can never outlive, and their spouse never outlives. If you want your own income plan, folks, that'll put you in control of retirement, call right now.
That's all good news, Coach. 919-794-7900. 919-794-7900. Or text Amanda to 600-700.
Amanda Daughtry is a paid spokesperson. Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
Complete rules for all contests on Sports Radio, The Buzz, and 99.9 The Fan can be found during normal business hours at 3100 Highwoods Boulevard in Raleigh, or always online at 999thefan.com.
Hey, bud, why so glum?
Got laid off again.
Wow, you just can't keep a job, can you? You know what? You need to go to Sharky's.
They're hiring?
No, because they'd never hire you. Evidently, no one will. But Sharky's is a great place. We can play pool, throw darts. There's an outstanding patio, nice folks to visit with, great food. They've got it all.
Yeah, having a job isn't all it's cracked up to be anyway, so I'll try Sharky's.
Great decision, bud.
Sharky's, 5800 Durley Road. Maybe the greatest neighborhood bar in the world.
Off the boards, Miller comes in, backhand chance out in front, Dover switch, they score! They score! It's Taylor Hall on the doorstep and comes through with a big goal. Carolina gets the lead back, it's 2-1.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Canes, Canadiens. Game 4. Tonight. Canes lead the series 2-1. Physicality showing up for the Canes. A little whining, perhaps, a little frustration showing up for the Canadiens, which I do think matters, right? This is, actually, I'd probably say Game 3. Game 3 is really where it becomes a series. And what I mean by that is, that's where the chess game becomes a thing. It's where hitting the same team over and over, those emotions start to boil over, and it's one of the biggest differences between the regular season and the postseason is it's the same team every game, right? And sure, in the regular season, sometimes you have like a back-to-back home and home. You might see each other in back-to-back games. You might see a division opponent a handful of times a year. But the series, once you get to like Game 3 and definitely Game 4, you have like a history, right? If you've been hitting the same guy up against the boards and one of them, they ducked a little bit, so your elbow caught their head a little bit, and then one of them, you think it was a little dirty because, you didn't have the puck, even though you might have, or whatever it is, right? By now, it's like it's personal. And because of that, it becomes a little bit more difficult. And guys are skating a little bit harder. It might come with a little bit more anger at the end of it. Or you might be the opposite and going full, like, I'm going to beat you on the scoreboard. And now you're hunting for some personals. The coaches are deep in their chess game. Right? Deep in there, they did this, so we did that, so they think we're going to do this, but they don't know that I know that they're going to do this, so then I'm going to do that. And you also need to make sure you're simplifying it and just letting your dudes play. It's all every side of it by this point. And sometimes it can just come down to This is hockey related. It's also just sports related. Sometimes it can just come down to a few players, a player going above and beyond. Saying, this one's on me, fellas. I got us. Watch what I can do. When ready for full like pregame speech, when the preparation and the talent meets the opportunity in a big game. Think Nikolai Ehlers in Game 2. I'm going to have to split a couple defenders. I'm going to have to wheel around, do a little blind shot, and then boom, gotcha. Overtime, I'm going to have to be the guy again. Boom, gotcha. Who could that be today? Who are the two most important players for the Carolina Hurricanes in Game 4? Guys that we might be talking about tomorrow the way we talked about Nikolai Ehlers after Game 2. Who could that be? Well, luckily we have our guesses for you. Dennis, we are each giving two most important players. We'll go back and forth. This is not an order. This is just we're naming two. So pick which one you want to go with and lead us off.
Logan Stankoven. Logan Stankoven's my first guy.
Is it because he's been relatively quiet compared to the first two series?
No, I don't think it's that. Again, that line generated a really good goal.
Oh, yeah. That's why I said relatively. He hasn't been quiet. He's just been quiet compared to a million goals in the first two series.
Yeah. Compared to 7 goals in 8 games to start the playoffs, I guess you could say he's cooled off. But the reason why I say Stankoven is the fact that if I'm Martin St. Louis, I'm trying to get my top guys out there against – I'm trying to get Nick Suzuki and those guys out there against Stankoven. That's because that's something that I feel like defensively you feel like you can exploit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what Martin St. Louis is going to try and do. Can Logan Stankoven, if he's out there against Nick Suzuki, against that top line, can he continue to hold his own? That's the question that I have. So for him, it's not about what they can do producing offensively, because we've seen what they can do in the forecheck and just obviously just hunting pucks down. But can they hold up on the defensive end? And so far they have. But if that's a matchup, if I'm Martin St. Louis, I'm going to try and exploit throughout the night if I can.
And sometimes that line's effort on the forecheck almost like you don't know if they can hold up defensively because they're it's not getting there, right? They're not even allowing that to happen. I will say this, overall in Game 3, the Canes were pretty darn good in the faceoff circle. But if there was one kind of weakness, the only one that was below 50% was Logan Stankoven.
Yep.
So there's just another way that he could, improve on the margins to have a slightly bigger impact on the game. My first is a guy that I've mentioned a few times in the intro to this segment, Nikolai Ehlers.
All right.
Game 2, we did a lot of you bring that guy in for that goal. You sign that guy, you pay that guy for that goal. I think you do. That is part of the reason, but not just for one game of those goals. That line with Stahl and Martinook, it's a really fascinating line to watch because they're all so varied. But it's very clear his role is to speed, score, right? Speed, create chances. I think his passing ability is underrated, and I think what he does on the power play is underrated. I think the power play needs to get going. Him carrying it into the offensive zone is a big part of that. I think if they're going to land like a haymaker, I think Nikolai Ehlers, there's a good chance he could be a part of it. So Nikolai Ehlers as the timely goal scorer, timely playmaker that you're paying him to be, I want him to show up again in Game 4. Next and final, Dennis, who is your second most important player?
Andrei Svechnikov. Can he build off the goal that he scored? It was a tremendous play, reading the puck, intercepting the pass. He looked strong there in overtime. That line, I think, was the best that they've looked in this entire series, was in that game. And obviously, they all factored in some way, shape, and form on that game-winning goal.
Mm-hmm.
And Nikolai Ehlers has talked about how he and Svech have spoken about having a shoot-first mentality. If Andre continues to bring that, I think that hopefully that goal is the thing that breaks the dam for them offensively. He got robbed a couple times by Dobish in Game 3, by the way. Had some really good looks. Dobish just made a couple just unreal saves. You just kind of go all right, tip the cap. But I think that can actually be the one that, like I said, breaks the seal for that line. And if Svech starts scoring, that whole line really starts going, watch out.
Can you grab that audio of Nikolai Ehlers talking about the mindset he and Svetch have? And while you do that, there was another quote I read, and this comes from Walt Ruff, Canes team reporter from Taylor Hall.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Taylor Hall. The more simple, about Svetch, by the way, obviously. The more simple and direct he plays, that helps him. Seeing that puck go in at the end of last game, I think sometimes you need that as an offensive guy. I want to focus on the first part. The more simple and direct he plays. Svetch has some size, some weight, some heaviness. He can, sometimes I think he weaves when I'm like, just hit that guy. Like, just go straight through him. Don't do the old Olay. Just fly straight at the goal because he has that ability. And now that's Taylor Hall talking about Svetch. Let's hear Nikolai Ehlers talking about he and Svetch.
One thing Svetch and I have talked about lately was having that shooting mentality, and he's been having that lately, and that gets his feet moving as well, and I think you feel that when you got him going in and getting a big hit, that gives the team a lot of energy, and it shows that everybody on the team's got to buy into doing stuff like that.
I love that just everybody is telling Svetch, shoot, offensive. It's got to be so fun for Svetch. You want me to just do the really fun thing? Cool, yeah. And everybody's just coming by like, do the really fun thing, do the fun thing. Okay, fine. My last or second most important player is William Carrier. And he is a star in his role, right? I was talking with Paul Ihander, who hosts Next Up with Paul Ihander weekday mornings here, about Carrier and how he understands, like, when he is on the ice, he's not going to skate as much as some of these other guys, right? He's not going to be the main puck handler. Physicality, right? Hit people. And he's been doing that. And it's understanding what your role is and doing it well and taking pride in it, right? The way me and Paul were talking about is like, you don't go to a pizza shop and ask for tacos. Right, I'm not going to Carrier and asking for like a twisted wrister. I'm going to Carrier and I'm asking for physicality. And that is not just Carrier, but it's a microcosm of what we were talking about earlier. It's an example of what we were talking about earlier, which is the Canes have been the more physical team. And there's not many Eastern Conference Finals that they've been in where we can say they've been the more physical team. We can say they maybe weren't overmatched physically or they weren't, getting bullied, right? We can debate all that, but it's pretty obvious they've been the more physical team. And I don't know if that happens without the Carriers, the Sean Walkers, some of these guys who, their posters aren't outside the Lenovo Center, 40 feet by 20 feet, but they're stars in their role as they play them. So William Carrier on my list, which I can tell you, and this is just the old hey, you might regret it deal. We do have first goal scorer predictions coming up in the next hour. When I asked Adam Gold, who hosts the Adam Gold Show, obviously, he said, I am tempted to say William Carrier, but I won't. And he went with a more kind of down the middle pick, which we'll reveal later. But he was tempted. He wanted that fourth line represented, and he was going to go Carrier, but then he talked himself out of it. And actually quickly, so it wasn't a tough decision for him. But if Carrier scores, everybody point and laugh at Adam for almost picking Carrier, but not having the guts to go through with it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Those are our two most important players for Game 4. Could help decide the game for the Canes. When we come back, OTAs for the Panthers started yesterday, continued today, and that's our subject for Football at 4 next.
Life's great stories are built on yes and. Yes to the big game and the private suite. Yes to the beach and sailing offshore. Yes to traveling the country and exploring new ones. With the new Millionaire for Life from the North Carolina Education Lottery, you can say yes to $1 million now and every year for a lifetime. Millionaire for Life. Winning is just the beginning. Drawing 7 days a week. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 8.47. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Memorial Day deals are at the Home Depot, which means one thing. It's go time. So kick off your planting projects and fill your space with colorful blooms that will thrive in your area. Then protect your flower beds with savings on mulch. On special buy, 4 bags for $10. This Memorial Day, get your backyard ready for summer with low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Pricing valid May 14th through May 27th. U.S. only, exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on oil?
We've got many markdowns on oil.
How about on that new STP Any Mileage?
You'll save $5 when you buy 5 quarts of STP Any Mileage with an oil filter and get up to 5,000 miles of protection.
Heck of a markdown for quite a lot of miles.
At AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. It is hot and humid out there. That sunshine also heating us up into the upper 80s and leading us to another round of thunderstorms late this afternoon and this evening. Mainly cloudy with a low near 70 overnight tonight. And then tomorrow, we'll see more of the same. Expect partly cloudy skies with highs in the upper 80s and a round of late-day thunderstorms.
This hour of the drive is brought to you by Law Tigers. Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you call your insurance company. Case evaluations are always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 185 points to 50,649.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, football at 4. And there was actual kind of football on a football field yesterday and today. I mean, not fully padded, not another team, but footballs were thrown and caught, and you know, cleats were worn, helmets were on. Football at 4 finally gets to talk some football after an offseason of draft and free agency and contracts and everything else. OTAs started yesterday. And with that comes media availability for Dave Canales to talk about the team and what's going on at OTAs. We played earlier for you Dave Canales talking about Bryce Young as a leader, and I think that's important. Right? I think this is a kind of ownership season for Bryce. I think a lot of decisions are going to be made contractually, future of the team, all of that with Bryce. So if you're Bryce Young, I think you'd want your hands on the wheel, right? You'd want as much control as possible if you're going to be judged in a major way. But football is also the ultimate team sport. So no matter how good you are individually, the success is going to rise and fall with the roster. So let's hear about some of the other guys that are in that offense specifically, starting with some running backs. Dave Canales was asked what role veteran acquisition this offseason A.J. Dillon could carve out for himself. Reminder, Chuba Hubbard, Jonathan Brooks, the perceived top of that running back depth chart. What role could A.J. Dillon carve out for himself? Here's Dave Canales.
AJ's got a great opportunity to compete, and there's more than one way to help this team. You know, there's not just running the ball, there's pass protection, there's whether it's route running, there's special teams, and these are all things that AJ has had practice and experience in, and so he brings another just veteran player into that room, which is a competitive room, and so we just expect him to show up every day, compete, and we'll see where all that plays out.
Now, all of that is true, and it's important. Do you know what that screams to me? He's a veteran that knows what he's supposed to do. So if we are in a hard spot, we can put him in the game and get by. And what I mean by get by is run the rest of our offense and he can execute. I don't anticipate A.J. Dillon solving any issues if they have problems at running back. But if there are injuries and he has to go in there, you can at least be confident that Bryce Young won't get lit up because a running back doesn't know who to block. And then on top of that, he has quads the size of tree trunks. So you expect him to be able to, at least match power for power with a linebacker or whoever ends up being his assignment. He is not making much money this year, so they have very little, required commitment to him. The other thing I want to say about A.J. Dillon is it does appear as if he buys in wholeheartedly wherever he goes. Like he is all in on North Carolina, all in on Charlotte, all in on the Panthers, and I think that's good for vibes when a guy shows up like that. The other guy in the running back room everyone wants to ask about is Jonathan Brooks. Jonathan Brooks, the clips I saw, right, I think it matters, moved well for a guy who has done everything possible to his knees in the last 2.5 years. He moved well, moved confidently, didn't look like he was thinking about it. Granted, there was no risk of getting tackled, so that obviously played into it. But Dave Canales was asked what it was like having Jonathan Brooks out there on the OTA field.
It brings me a lot of joy to be able to see him out there. Didn't see any hesitation, just a lot of speed and decisiveness in how he ran the ball today, and got him in the perimeter on a screen and made some good yards on one of our screens today. And not just me, but I think his teammates would say the same thing. They would be up here saying the same thing, just really excited to see Jonathan be out there and do what he loves to do.
Can I get greedy for a second? Can I go ceiling with the expectation? If he can be the dynamite to that offense, that's massive. If he can be the guy that takes a 4-yard carry into a 40-yard carry, and he doesn't even have to do it that often, if he can just make defenses think about it, that's bananas. That's super important. That's a big if for a guy that hasn't really played football since college and was drafted, not this most recent draft, not the draft before that. That's the stuff that's kind of tough, right? That's the stuff that's difficult. But if he can do it, massive get. I'm looking at him like 100% value, right? I think you've written him off as if he's a complete zero. So then any value you get out of him, I'm just stoked with. And he did look good today. So it's the smallest amount of like sample size we could have. It's a couple plays that you see on video from an OTA with no pads and no tackling. But it looks good. I'll put it this way. I know that OTAs are all nonsense. I still considered hey, in some of my fantasy leagues, what should I trade for Jonathan Brooks before everybody catches wind? I talked myself out of it because I was like, let's not get carried away. But I considered it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are playing audio for you from Dave Canales, head coach of the Panthers, all about OTAs, which started yesterday. It's all part of football at 4. Let's go to, how about we go to the quarterback room, changing this offseason. There's no more Andy Dalton. In comes Kenny Pickett and a few other tweaks. Here's Dave Canales on how the quarterback room has changed.
Talk about Kenny and talk about Will Greer right now. 2 veteran players, guys that have experience being around a couple of different quarterback rooms. In fact, they were together in Philly for a little while, and they talk about their time together and how much they enjoyed working together, and they're bringing that camaraderie into that room for Bryce, so it just adds to the flavor. And then, of course, having Haynes King in there, a rookie who's learning all these things, he's done a great job of just being able to connect with those guys. And I can't say enough about what Will and what Kenny have meant to just, not just being a support of Bryce. When you build a quarterback room, those guys' primary job is to know what they're doing, but also to bring value to the quarterback, to Bryce. And that's really all of our responsibility. And I love that Haynes gets to see that happen in front of him by veteran guys who understand their role and understand that you bring value. Even if you're not out there getting the reps, there's so much that you can bring in terms of your experience, watching film, studying other teams, and just enriching the conversations that happen in there.
Here's how I see this quarterback room. Bryce is Bryce. We've done all of the breakdowns. It's his room. He's the quarterback. He's the guy. Kenny Pickett is the spare tire, right? If Bryce goes down for 3 or 4 weeks, you'd like to think Kenny Pickett can, he's the little donut tire. He can get in there, win you a game or two, keep your playoff hopes alive. Beyond that, Will Grier, Haynes King, we can like him. Will Grier's a local legend. Haynes King is a guy I really liked watching at Georgia Tech, but their depth, and depth is like emergency depth. They have to show you something between now and the regular season that would make it so even if Bryce Young and Kenny Pickett got hurt, you wouldn't be calling up like recently retired guys to see if they can go on short notice. They have to show you something, which does actually lean into what you just heard him talking about, which means they better be great in the room. Because if you're not even sure if like big injuries happen, if they're going to play, they better be bringing something else. And that means serving the starter, helping out, vibes. That means if the starter wants to watch film at 5 a.m., you're there at 4:45 holding donuts. Like you have to do all of that. You can make a long career out of that, or you can at least buy yourself enough time to prove you deserve to have a long career. But I think there's already an obvious hierarchy in that quarterback room, and from this point on, it's just kind of vibes and who you want to keep around. All right, let's get to one more piece of audio here from Dave Canales. The biggest change for the offense this offseason is the play caller. We can talk about Monroe Freeling, the first-round pick. He might not even start week 1. We can talk about Chris Brazel or John Mechie adding depth to the wide receiver room. We can talk about individual development. We can do all that, but the biggest change for the offense is the play caller. Dave Canales no longer calling plays. Brad Idzik, the offensive coordinator, taking over that responsibility. Dave Canales was asked what's it like at practice for him now that he's not calling plays, and here's what he said.
It just frees me up to bounce around and just see what's happening at different positions and go and hear what Pat McPherson is doing down with the tight ends for a second and, get with Todd Wash with the defensive line and watch those guys work and just to really get an appreciation for the staff that we have that pushes our groups. I was really looking forward to that. Also just being able to be available to Tracy during special teams and hopping into drills kind of over the last couple of weeks, grabbing a bag, being a part of what they're doing and really just to so that every area of our team knows I care about them. I care that we have a high standard for how we're working. It matters to me so that no group really feels like they're not getting that attention. And I'll be honest, whichever group I go around, there's a little bit of an uptick in terms of the effort and what they're doing. The guys are always competing, and I love that. So I love just kind of being that presence and supporting the coaches as they do their thing.
That's, first of all, funny that you notice. You remember, I don't know if this has happened elsewhere. I want to say it was when I was living in New Jersey, but don't hold me to it. The local police station put a giant a plywood cutout of a police a squad car, and they would move it around town and put it so it's poking out around a bush, and then everybody would slow down when they were driving by, thinking it was a cop car. I almost think, based on what Dave Canales just said, they need a cardboard cutout of Canales that they can go put next to each position drill. Because if there's an uptick, you got to take advantage of that, right?
Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden everybody's best driver in the world when they see a cop up there, and then it turns out it's just a plywood cutout and everybody speeds back up. But for those few minutes, they were very safe drivers. Same deal, right? He gets to walk around and boost everybody's practice because, the head guy's watching. Oh, look at the head coach is here. Everybody watch this, and they hit a little harder. Get the cardboard cutout. Free idea there. You don't have to pay me for it, Dave. It's all you. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim,
I feel great about playing football right now.
Darn right. Anytime coach is watching, I feel great about playing football too. When he leaves, it's OTAs in the middle of a rainstorm. But when he's around, I love playing football. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. Listen, big game tonight. There's always a big game coming up. Big game tonight. When you're in your house, you want it to be comfortable temperature, right? If you're sweating, you want it to be because the game is close, not because your air conditioner broke. If you are, I don't know, there's a brief pause in the action, you run to the bathroom. You want it to be a quick trip to the bathroom and back so you don't miss any action. You don't want your plumbing acting up. Your electrical work. I mean, you can't be having fuses popping and bad things happening. Maybe it doesn't even work when you go try to heat up the food in the microwave during intermission. You need your heating, cooling, plumbing, electric to all work perfectly. Maynard Service Company are the people that can make that happen, especially if you're dealing with some kind of an emergency where one of those has broken or there's a leak or something along those lines. So whether you're just looking for some maintenance or you're looking for a service schedule or you're looking for immediate help because something's gone wrong, Maynard Service Company is the number to call. Here it is. Locally owned, by the way. 919-361-0993. That is 919-361-0993. Or visit them online at maynardservices.com. That's MAYNOR services.com. Let them know you heard about it from me, by the way, Tim, on 99.9 The Fan. When we come back, we're going to hit you with a cup check-in. Our very own Adam Gold checking in with a former Carolina Hurricane to talk Eastern Conference Finals. Next.
It's Hockey Night in Carolina Playoff Edition. It's Game 4, Montreal.
They score! They score! It's Taylor Hall on the doorstep.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 7. Puck drop at 8.
They score! They score! Andrei Svechnikov wins it in overtime! And the Hurricanes have silenced the Bell Center.
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
This is the sound of Claire, cooking dinner at home. And that's the sound of a fraud alert from Wells Fargo, flagging a charge for a pricey restaurant in Paris. Considering Claire isn't in Paris right now, that seemed odd. To the bank and to Claire. 2 taps later, Claire says nope to the charge, and Wells Fargo is on the case. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
It's bow time. We know there's a lot of breakfast sandwiches out there, but only Bojangles has the legendary Cajun Filet Biscuit. Shake things up with a boldly seasoned chicken breast on a fluffy, made-from-scratch biscuit with bow rounds and your choice of drink. So when you're craving something bold, something different, something that takes breakfast to a whole new level, the Cajun Filet Biscuit is waiting for you, along with crispy bow rounds and a drink. Order in the app or at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Time to satisfy your craving for Cajun with a Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit. Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuits are served all day, every day. And with that biscuit, why not add Bo's Iced Coffee? That's right, Bo's Iced Coffee with sweet cream. Choose caramel or French vanilla. Bo's new Iced Coffee, a great way to sweeten your day. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's Bo time.
Carrier strumming forward with Willie out in front. They shoot and score! Shane Gostisbehere, the forecheck in effect for Carolina, and it's 1-0 here in the Bell Center for the Hurricanes.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Any motivation behind this music choice here, Dennis?
Oh, Tim, you're not a wrestling fan, really, are you?
I'm
just while we play.
I'm not like to be clear. It's not like I'm not really a wrestling fan. Like I wouldn't get any reference.
That's totally fair. While we play the cup check-in, I need you to look up the Montreal Screwjob.
Montreal Screwjob?
Yes. This is the theme song of the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Do a quick little Google search on that as we play the cup check-in, and you'll understand.
And that song was a part of it?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see what that means. In the meantime, it is time for our cup check-in with Adam Gold, served up by Carolina Ale House. Earlier, Adam Gold had the chance to sit down and visit with Sean Hill, former Carolina Hurricane. All about, obviously, Eastern Conference Finals, playoff hockey, what the Canes are dealing with. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
You know, obviously, I love the position we're in, and I love the way we played the last game and the second game, too. But Montreal is, I mean, I think they're a really talented team, and the way they snapped the puck around in the first game, I know that wasn't us in that game, just not the way we play, but you still have to complete all the passes and stuff, and they were zipping it around. So, that being said, yeah, I want to see an effort again tonight like we had last game, and just keep rolling line after line, coming at them wave after wave. And, if we do that, I think it's going to be a tough task for them.
Sean Hill is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Is it hard to convince yourself that you're only halfway? I mean, the way the last two games have been played, where really Carolina was dominant. Is it hard? Because I don't think for this team it's that hard to convince themselves that this job isn't over.
No, I think we got a real mature mindset, and obviously a mature group, and I don't think they look ahead. I think they do it one game at a time, and I think as far as being mentally strong, I think we got a great level of that mental strength in that room. So I don't think they have any problems looking past games and hanging on to past games that we've already had type of thing. So I think they do a great job of keeping their eye on the prize and one step at a time. So
is because these two games went to overtime, and maybe it's easier because of that, so many people have said, well, Montreal could easily be up 3-0. And the truth is that, yeah, they could. They did have a great chance at the beginning, two great chances at the beginning of the overtime on Monday night. And this could be a 2-1 series in favor of Montreal. Do you buy into this is so that the margins are so close, or is it more about Carolina had been dominant and this was always going to be 2-1?
I mean, it could be 2-1, but that'd be everything going right for Montreal for them to do that with the amount of zone time, the amount of possession, and everything we've had. But that's a great thing about hockey. You have to play the games, and you can have games like that where one team spends 65, 70% of the time in the other team's zone, and they go down one time and it's in the net. That's why people watch, and that's why it's such an enjoyable and exciting and entertaining sport. So, it definitely could be, but I don't think that's, what anybody that's on our side of the fence is thinking. I think we're more adhering to the fact that we've been coming after them in wave after wave and line after line, and it doesn't matter if it's the first line or the fourth line. You look at the shifts that our fourth line has had, and they're in their zone and they're putting pressure on. They're getting opportunities and they're scoring a goal here and there. And I just think it's been a very impressive showing, not by the total number of goals we've scored, obviously, because Dobish has been playing unbelievable. Yeah. But just the fact that we've had it in there and had the chances and the possession, and it's been a great showing so far as that goes.
There's your cup check-in, served up by Carolina Ale House. Want to hang out with Stormy and the Canes crew? Head to Carolina Ale House's Cary location during the playoffs for official viewing parties. And again, that was Adam Gold with former Cane Sean Hill. There are those out there, by the way, his little comment saying, you could have the puck in your offensive zone forever, and then, you blink and the defensive team gets the puck, goes down and scores, and that's why it's so entertaining. There are some that would say that's why it's so darn frustrating. There might not be anything more entertaining than that if you're the team that, was hemmed in for ever and then you score, but there might not be anything less entertaining if you're the team that controlled the puck for 4.5 minutes and then 7 seconds later gave up a goal. But it does create a certain element of white knuckle intensity. It's Cup check-in. Again, check out Carolina Ale House for watch parties. In the meantime, Dennis, we get to move on to one of my favorite segments of the week. It is something we call Blind Rankings.
Real quick, did you look up the Montreal Screwjob?
I did. So Brett Michael just kind of got messed over. And
Bret Hart, yeah.
Bret Hart, sorry.
Yeah.
Got messed over because his contract was up, so they went like, you didn't actually win. You gave up. And then they started playing music and stuff.
Yeah. He lost to Shawn Michaels.
So I just mixed up the two of them there, huh?
Yeah, he kind of did. Brett Michaels, I think, was a musician.
Well, as you can tell, I'm not a fan, but
That's fair.
I did read about it, and it does sound like somebody got little got robbed, if you will, a little jobbed over.
That's fine.
Hopefully they're all happy now. I don't know. With that,
one might not be, but that's okay.
All right, I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't have to be on the inside of that joke.
You don't have to be.
Because instead I'm in the blind rankings. Let's fire it up.
All right, Tim. Tonight, game 4.
Yep.
We're going to blind rank players that will have the biggest impact on tonight's game.
Okay.
Both teams. Both teams.
All right.
All right, so we're going to just keep it straight down the middle here.
Everybody's eligible. Goalies, both teams.
Goalies, both teams, the whole deal. All right?
Yep.
Blind ranking these players and the impact that they will have on tonight's game. The first player I'm going to throw out at you, Cole Caulfield, Montreal Canadiens forward.
It's been quiet from Cole. He's obviously a gigantic scoring threat.
I mean, outside of that give and go and go that he had with Lane Hudson on the power play, he was held in check mostly.
I think that. I mean, if we're being real, and it feels like we could be talking about either team here, although obviously the Canes top line got the game winner, which is big. Both of the top lines have been probably more quiet than their fans would hope for. I'm gonna take a risk. I'm feeling a little froggy. I'm gonna take a risk. I'm hoping you're gonna give me some big dogs. Give me Cole Caulfield 4.
Hoping I give you some big dogs. Gave you Cole Caulfield. This guy's a 50-plus goal scorer.
I agree with that, but there's big dogs all over both lineups here.
Okay. All right.
Put him 4. I'm taking a risk.
Cole Caulfield at number 4. Okay. So again, we are blind ranking players and the impact that they will have in tonight's game 4 between the Canadiens and the Carolina Hurricanes.
I mean, in any of the 3 games, has he been a top 5 most impactful player? Probably not.
I would say game 1.
Who wasn't for them though?
That's true. I think all the top 5 in that game were all from Montreal in that game. All right, so again, we're blind ranking players for tonight's game. Both sides included, Montreal and Carolina. I gave you Cole Caulfield. You put him at 4. Next name on this list is K'Andre Miller.
I mean, it's not like as flashy as what impact you would expect from a Cole Caulfield, but I am comfortable putting him high. I mean, he might show up in some more conversation that we have later. Give me K'Andre Miller 2.
Oh, K'Andre Miller at number 2.
It's so incredible, and I know it's wingspan, but it's also like he's quick. Where it's like, oh, he's out of position, and never mind, no, he's not. And it's. I think a lot of the struggles that Montreal is having scoring the puck are, I mean, him and Sean Walker. The fact that we talk about them as much as we do, and there's also Jacob Slavin and Chatfield and Nikishin and everything on that blue line shows how well they're playing. So, K'Andre Miller 2.
All right, again, we are blind ranking players that will have an impact on tonight's Game 4 between the Canadiens and the Hurricanes. We're including players from both teams. I gave you Cole Caulfield from the Montreal Canadiens. You put him at 4. I gave you defenseman K'Andre Miller from the Carolina Hurricanes. You put him at 2, which means you have 1, 3, and 5 slots available for the blind ranking. Next player on this list is Seth Jarvis.
That top line, I'm really like. So we have first goal scorer coming up, and on Twitter, a lot of people are saying like, Svetch, that goal is gonna get things going. My response to like 10 of them has been, I hope it gets the whole line going, not just Svetch. Like let's get everybody rolling. I'll put Seth just because he hasn't quite been as electric as I'm used to seeing. I'll put him 3rd. He's still doing all the Seth Jarvis things though. It's still hustling back on defense. He's still, playing two-way hockey, all that kind of stuff, playing bigger than you would think with his size. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a goal today, but either way, I'm comfortable with him at number 3.
Okay, so again, blind ranking Canes and Canadiens for tonight's matchup. I gave you Cole Caulfield from Montreal, the forward. You put him at 4. I gave you K'Andre Miller, the defenseman for Carolina. You put him at 2. I gave you Seth Jarvis from the Carolina Hurricanes. You put him at 3, which means we have numbers 1 and number 5 available here on the blind ranking. Next player on this list I'm giving you, Lane Hudson. You have either 1 or 5.
Yep.
He's got to go 1 or 5.
It's a tough one. He's really good. I want that on the record. I also want to point out to Canadiens fans, for certain players on the Canes, he's elbow height, okay? That it's not the fault of the elbow that Lane Hudson is elbow height. As somebody, like I'm a little under 6'4", but like high school basketball, that's pretty tall. I landed some elbows that I had absolutely no intention of landing. It's not my fault that, your shooting guard is 5'8". Like, it's just your elbow height. I'm not trying to. And especially back then, I couldn't put on weight. I had some razor sharp elbows. No baby fat even. It was just skin and bones. So I don't, obviously the Canes are trying to be physical with Montreal, but I don't think they're like, headhunting for Lane Hudson at all. He's really good. I'll put it this way. I think the smart answer here would be number 1, but I think I'm going to be a reckless homer and assume that Dennis has given me 3 Canes, and I'm putting Lane Hudson number 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lane Hudson at number 5.
Reckless homer. I only had 1 or 5, and I'm taking I mean, it's nothing more than a hunch, but I'm taking my hunch that you're going to give me 3 Canes, and I'm putting whoever the next Cane is number 1.
Okay. All right.
Because you're going to give me Freddie, or you're going to give me Svetch, or you're going to give me Ehlers, or you're going to give me Slavin, or you're going to give me any of these will do. I'm just throwing these potential. Stahl, sure. Aho, would love to see that. It's up to you, but any of those would make me feel better about my extreme homerism.
Okay. All right. So, again, we're blind ranking Carolina Hurricanes, Montreal Canadiens, the impact that it will have on tonight's Game 4. So, blind ranking. I give you Cole Caulfield.
Stankoven, Hall.
A lot of guys out there.
Jackson Blake.
I gave you Cole Caulfield from Montreal. You put him at 4. I gave you Keandre Miller from Carolina. You put him at 2. Then I gave you Seth Jarvis from the Canes. You put him at 3. I gave you Lane Hudson, the Montreal defenseman. You put him at 5. So, the only slot that you have available is number 1.
Yep.
Which goes to Juraj Slafkovsky, the Montreal Canadiens.
I don't love that. Don't love that much at all. Don't love that. He is a good player. But,
fantastic player.
But I mean, the list didn't come out how I expected it to. You threw me some real big dogs from Montreal and some big dogs from the Canes as well. I just was the hunch that I was getting 3 Canes ended up proving untrue. So Slafkovsky, I mean, it's not a good list, but it certainly is a list.
It is a list.
That's a list if you've ever listed things. As always, I did it blind. Did not do it very well today, but I do it blind. Dennis, you get to do it with the gift of sight, the gift of vision. How would you rank these 5, having full knowledge of the entire list?
I put Lane Hudson 1.
Probably fair.
I put him at 1. Just I think
you're not a homer at all.
No, not at all. I would have put Hudson at 1 just because I think that turnover that's going to eat at him for sure at the end of the game from 2 nights ago. So I think he's going to come out with a bit of a vengeance in this upcoming game. So
and by the way, that was a really, really bad pass.
Yeah.
And very out of the norm for him. It was very strange.
I think he was anticipating Slafkovsky actually being right there in the middle of the ice and just assumed he was going to be there and didn't actually fully look.
I imagine he said some really bad words as soon as it left his tape.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
No. So I would actually put Lane Hudson at 1. I would put probably Jarvis at 2, Caulfield at 3, Slafkovsky 4, Miller 5.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Probably there's no bad. Mine was wrong, don't get me wrong. But there's I don't know, I'm not good at math on how many combinations there are. There are a lot of combinations that would be okay of these groups. Like they all could be the deciding factor in the game. Pretty much the only way you really mess it up is if you have Lane Hudson last. Other than that, you can mix them up a lot. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is a blind ranking. Do it every Wednesday here on the show. And we encourage you all to play along in the comments if you want to. YouTube live stream comments in the live chat there. If you're interested, play along, see how you do. Let us know. Hopefully, not as bad as I did. But you have another chance to play along with another game we do here. Every Wednesday, we play a game of Hurricanes and Cons.
But to play great defense, you need one thing above all else.
That starts with a W.
Confidence.
By the way, I don't know if everybody knows that clip. That's Mighty Ducks D3 action right there. Confidence. What are you most confident in? What are you most concerned about for the Carolina Hurricanes as we roll into Game 4 Eastern Conference Finals tonight? Most confident. You can be confident in a lot of things, but most confident. Same for the concerns. And as always, we have good news and bad news. We roll with the bad news first. So what are you most concerned about? Dennis, why don't you lead us off?
My concern for tonight is that I think Montreal actually changes up their style of play early on in the game. I would not be surprised if you see Martin St. Louis telling his guys, look, when you gain the red line, if you can't skate it, just chip it in. I would not, because he actually said it earlier today. He said, guys have to be willing to get rid of the puck in order to go get it again. I think that's something that you'll probably see more tonight is them just chipping and chasing a little bit more often tonight. And let's see how Carolina counteracts. Because if Montreal's able to get a couple quick ones early, we'll see how the game goes. That's my concern tonight is that they change up how they've been playing these last couple of games.
I had this thought watching Game 3. I think what Montreal is good at and how Game 1 went may have actually hurt them in Games 2 and 3 because they have so many guys that are so good at like one-on-one moves, right? Or setting themselves up for these breakouts, these rushes. And then Game 1 went the way it did, where they just had space all day, and especially in the first period, that they went like, oh, okay, we can do that. But really against the Canes, that's not what you want to do, right? If you're trying to beat them one-on-one, they just have too many good defenders. I think today is the day that they change it up. I agree with you on that. My concern, you know where we are. Goalie. Been that way since a few games left in the regular season, and somebody told me that every time I take them off of my concern, the goalies start playing poorly again. So to respect that person's superstition, I have left goalie in here, and Freddie's been good. He hasn't been tested a lot in the last 2 games, but he's been good enough. And everybody loves pointing it out, and I love pointing it out. It's a different challenge when you're the Canes goalie. You're not going to get 30 shots, but 15 of them are nice and easy, right? Get you in a rhythm, right? You're going to get 12 to 15 shots, but 6 of them are going to be grade A's, and you're going to have to stop a few of them if you want to be a part of the win. And he's done that, but that's not to say the save percentage is what it is, right? Save percentage isn't what it was in the first couple of series. Dennis, I'll float you this question.
Okay.
Not tonight. Do we see Bussy in Game 5? And does that change with 3-1 or 2-2?
I don't think so. I'd say no. I mean, unless there's a massive workload and we go deep into late and overtime or something like that tonight, which is obviously possible.
I would say that more often than not when these two teams face in this year's Eastern Conference Finals, they go to overtime.
That's a tricky one just because he hasn't played in so long. Maybe if you're up 3-1 and you feel like Freddie's been a little overworked from this game, maybe, but I doubt it. I genuinely would say no.
That's called stretching when you've had the same concern for the last 7 Hurricanes and Cons.
Yeah.
And we just need to fill 2 more minutes of goalie talk. I do think it's an interesting conversation, but it's not one to have until after today because if it's a regulation win and he faces 17 shots, I don't think you even really consider it because he's your horse, right? But
hey, you have a chance to close it out on Friday if they happen to win the night, then yeah, absolutely.
But if it's like you said, if it's high work, if it's a win, if it's overtime, it changes all the arithmetic. Let's get to the more fun part. That's concerns. Let's get to confidence. Dennis, what are you most confident about in the Carolina Hurricanes?
My confidence with Carolina is the fact that in third periods and in overtimes these last couple games, they've been a stronger team in terms of they're skating faster, they've been getting the pucks quicker, and that's a benefit of the rest. And I think that's something that we are seeing late in these games. Sure, there was the initial of Montreal still in a bit of a rhythm coming off the series against Buffalo, but since that point, the rest has been paying off for Carolina. Taylor Hall said it, I remember standing next to him in the locker room after Game 3, where he says, yeah, we knocked the rust off in Game 1, but we're good feeling about our game right now. He later on said that, again, knocked the rust off, but in these overtime periods, they feel like they're the stronger team. And you can notice it by how they are playing. Just look at the shots on goal in the third period these last couple games. One shot in the third period, one shot in overtime this past game. Go to the game before, it was no shots in overtime, one shot in the third period. Like that's just you being stronger late in games. And I think that's the confidence for me is that as this series goes, as individual games go, Carolina's just a stronger team because they earned that rest with their 2 sweeps to start the postseason.
And leads into my confidence. It's their depth.
Yeah.
Which leads into them being a fresher team later in games.
Oh, yeah.
But also, I did this yesterday, and I like the way it encapsulates their depth. Obviously, goal scoring is not everything, okay? I'm not pretending it is. But it's a good way to show how deep this team is. In their last 2 games, both wins, they received 6 goals, right? They won both games 3-2. They have a fourth-line goal. They have 2 from the stall line, 2 goals from the stall line. They have a blue line goal from Gostisbehere. They have a Stankoven line goal, and they have a top line goal. I mean, that's all 4 lines and the blue line out of 6 goals. Out of 6 goals. That's pretty good. I like the depth. I like that everybody can contribute. I like that everybody is a threat. I like that Montreal can never rest. Every group will hit you. Every group will score on you. Every group will defend. And if that's the case, and they actually got caught in some like awkward shifts and things in Game 3, and obviously when power plays happen and penalty kills happen, everything gets shifted up. But I mean, you could have even like half this line, half that line, and a weird defensive pairing, and still you have to worry about getting scored on, getting hit, and getting hemmed in. If you can just make sure no matter who's on the ice, the opposing team has to worry about getting scored on, getting hit, and getting hemmed in, that's about as good as you can get. And I think the Canes right now have that, going pretty solid. Like I'm trying to appreciate it without being surprised by it when like Jankowski has a good shift, because I want to appreciate that's a 4th line shift that's really, really good, solid, won the face off, whatever it is. But also I don't want to disrespect him to the point where it's like, whoa, that's crazy. Janky had a good shift, because he's done it pretty consistently this postseason. So appreciative without surprised. It's kind of how I'm trying to talk about that. We are going to open up the phone lines. You can actually go ahead and cut the music for Hurricanes and Cons. We are going to open up the phone lines for first goal scorers in a minute here, literally just a little bit of time. But in the meantime, before we do that, Dennis has something he'd like to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cockshirt, real quick, from my good friends over at Law Tigers. Folks, if you're going to be traveling at some point this summer and you're a motorcycle owner, make sure that you store your bike properly. Make sure that you have a proper covering for it. If you have an opportunity to put it in a garage, that's great. But if you know your bike's going to be sitting for a week, make sure that you do all the proper things to take care of the bike. Especially, that could be altered depending on what type of motorcycle that you have in terms of its engine. Is it a carbureted motorcycle, which is something that I have, or is it just a fuel inject? There are different motorcycles that require different maintenance if you're not going to be riding for a long period of time. So make sure you take care of your bike. That way, when you actually do come back to your motorcycle and it's time to ride, your bike is working properly. Make sure you do all the proper small things. We always talk about that in sports. All the details mattering. The same thing applies when it comes to your motorcycle and its maintenance as well. So make sure you take care of your bike. But When you're out there on the road, you can do everything that you possibly can to be safe, but accidents still can happen. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, contact Law Tigers at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS even before you get in touch with the insurance company. Your case evaluation is always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. So give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan is getting ready for first goal scorer predictions. Call in now, 919-860-5326. That's the Easter Automotive Group hotline with 2 pieces of information. 1, who you think will score the first goal of the game for the Carolina Hurricanes, and 2, what period do you think they will score it in? Player and period. That's what we need from you. Call in if you want to prove you know Canes hockey. We'll give you our predictions. We'll hear from some of you coming up next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Let me wait until all of those other quarterbacks do their deals to see what the high watermark is for the quarterback market, and then I'll decide what I want in terms of the Baltimore Ravens giving me a deal, what I want it to look like, and I'll also decide whether or not I'm happy here in Baltimore with new head coach Jesse Minter.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and that cool, refreshing Mountain Dew. So give me my good friends, give me a dew.
Grab some ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain!
Stop by Handy Hugo's for great deals on your favorite Mountain Dew products. Head to Handy Hugo's today.
Hey, it's Amanda here, back again with Coach Pete. Coach, every time I turn on the TV, it's just like doomsday, and I'm scared to invest and all this. What should we do? How should we avoid all of this mess?
You know why they do that? Because you keep watching. If
true.
it bleeds, it leads. They just say in the news business. They never show good news. So the good news for you is there's ways around the bad things, but you need to isolate yourself from all the minutia and all the talk that's out there. So put a plan together, make sure that plan is bulletproof, and then don't worry about what they say on the news because your plan's not tied to the news anymore. So we need to get our plan away from the bad news, and we do that. We put together income plans that only give you the upside potential of the market, never the downside, and they give you a lifetime income. Amanda, our clients love this. A lifetime income they can never outlive, and their spouse never outlives. If you want your own income plan, folks, that'll put you in control of retirement, call right now.
That's all good news, Coach. 919-794-7900. 919-794-7900. Or text Amanda to 600-700.
Amanda Daughtry is a paid spokesperson. Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
If you've ever reached for a Cheers when your favorite song comes on, you're ready to embrace the haze with Hazy Little Thing from Sierra Nevada. Hazy, citrusy, smooth, juicy but not sweet, hoppy but not bitter, America's best-selling hazy IPA for good reason. Hazy Little Thing, enjoy responsibly. By Slavin to find Jankowski. Now Carrier shuttles one. Deflected. They score! Eric Robinson right on the board. And the Canes get the early lead. It's 1-0. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play a little first goal scorer predictions. We have 4 listeners lined up on the call-in line, the Easter Automotive Group call-in line, and we have to let you know about all of our picks from here at 99.9 The Fan. I've teased a few of them. We'll give those to you in a second, but first, let's hear from some of you. We have Ryan in Spivey's Corner. Ryan, welcome to the show. Who scores the first goal tonight for the Canes, and in what period?
I'm going to go Stankoven in the first and on a power play.
All right. Why are you feeling Stanky getting him started?
Because he's been really good, and sometimes he's been on a hot streak. So.
All right, riding the hot streak. I like it, Ryan. Appreciate it for calling in, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
I wish he would have stopped after he's been really good. Why Stanky? He's really good. Yep, that's true. All of it's true.
Notes.
All of it's true. Next up, Lewis in Raleigh. Lewis, welcome to the show. Happy to have you. Go ahead and make your first goal scorer prediction.
I'm going to go with Martin Nook in the first, right around the 10-minute mark, midway through the first period.
All right, Martinook in the first, about the midway point. You think it's a solo Marty party. Why is that?
He had a bad game. I think last time he was out of position for the first goal. The second goal, he was the one that was in the power play in the bin. And the third one that got raced, he was the one that got spun around and wound up losing his man. So he was in a bad position 3 times last game. So I think he's looking to make up for it today.
Excellent point there. Appreciate you, Lewis, and good luck to you. Even with, I'll just add to this, even with, like, I think a lot of us don't agree with the reason he was in the box, it still has to feel awful when you're in the box and the opposing team scores a power play goal. Next up, we have 2 more here. We have Alexander. Does this say Arlington, Texas?
That is correct.
All right, Alexander from Arlington, Texas. Thank you for listening from all the way down there in the Lone Star State. And give us your first goal score prediction.
I think the guy that's going to get it going for us is Nikishin. Alexander Nikishin.
Alexander Nikishin in the first period. Is that what we're rolling with?
Yep.
All right. Any other details? You want to put a miles per hour on it, or is it a 5-hole? How are we scoring this one?
I think he's going to go with like a slap shot around the blue line.
All right. Slap shot around the blue line. You are locked in, Alexander. We appreciate you listening. Howdy, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Nothing gets the people going like 95+ miles per hour from Alexander Nikishin.
I think Alexander in Arlington, Texas chose Alexander Nikishin because they share a name.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
There's no Dennis or Tim, so what do we do there?
Nothing.
All right. We'll round things up with Nick in Youngsville. Nick, welcome to the show. End us with a bang from the listeners. Who's the first goal scorer here today for the Canes, and in what period?
All right, so let's end this with Jackson Blake, first period on a breakaway.
Blake, first period, breakaway. Simple, straight to the point, and a pretty good pick there. We appreciate it, Nick. Good luck to you.
Thanks, guys.
I'm waiting for the ridiculous highlight goal from Jackson Blake. Every once in a while, like, you see his brain start cranking to, like, do I go full and one mixtape tour here? And sometimes he goes for it. Sometimes he thinks better of it, moves the puck, whatever. But one of these games, he is going to net a ridiculous goal, and it is going to be a highlight that we see a lot. So I'm still waiting for that one. It would be nice if it was the first goal on a breakaway, something with a lot of space so we can see it from a million different angles. But it's definitely possible. For everyone else here at 99.9 The Fan, I can give you some of the first goal score predictions. Adam Gold, ready for this, Nick in Youngsville? Adam Gold, Blake in the first. So you guys are on the same path there. Victoria, who produces the Adam Gold Show, Nikolai Ehlers in the first, but not in the first 10 minutes. So second half of the first period. Paul Ihander, Jankowski. We'll come back to this one. Jankowski in the first. The producer of Paul's show next up is Max Gorin. He went with Aho in the first. Although I should point this out, he had me write down Stankoven and then came back and told me in a text after he left to cross it out and write Aho. So he has a absurdly bad percentage when he changes it of being right with the one that he changed it away from. I want to say he'd be in first place in our little internal competition if he just stopped changing it, but he can't help himself.
So what you're saying is I got to take Stankoven in the first. That's what you're saying.
History, if you're into that sort of thing, and Max has been burned by it a bunch in the past. Dennis, we need a first goal scorer prediction.
This feels like a Jordan Stahl dominant type game. Multiple points, Jordan Stahl, first period.
Multiple points in the first period or multiple points?
In the game.
Okay.
Multiple points in the game. Give me Jordan Stahl, first period.
Give us some how. Is it a deflection? He was helping Freddie out with some net front presence at morning skate, just kind of like being the net front to screen him and get Freddie seeing it. And one of the comments was like, I like this as practice for both of them. Like, tell Stahl to get there on the offensive side as well. So perhaps a little net front deflection.
I think you're going to see him just bang home a rebound. Like, just greasy goal in front, right in the crease, similar to what we just saw from Taylor Hall 2 nights ago. Something like that. Pucks in the blue paint or right around it, and he just bangs home a rebound off a shot. So give me Jordan Stahl. I think this is that game where it's like, there's the captain when this team can extend their lead in the series to 3-1, there's the captain leading the way. Give me Jordan Staal.
He senses it.
Yeah.
I'm with Aho in the first. He obviously, right, that they played hot potato with the goal in overtime, he and Svech. After it was already scored, when they were deciding it, he didn't get it. So I think he starts off this one with a goal. Perhaps Svech somehow helps out, right? He helped out Svech. Now there's a little you scratch my back, I scratch yours, the top line thing going on. Maybe a primary assist to Svech, and Aho gets the goal. So Aho in the first. Book it. Dennis, anything going on in the YouTube comments before I get to some Twitter?
Speaking of that, this actually comes from Gibson. Gibson actually said this right at the top of the show, even before we solicited first goal scorers. Nice. He says, Aho in the first, then he adds bonus. Game-winning goal from Aho in the third period.
Ooh.
So, yeah, we have that. Brandon R. as well as Caniac22 both go with Stankoven in the first period. We also have Nikolai Ehlers in the first period. We also have a Seth Jarvis. This one comes from Tim. Tim says Jarvis in the first on an Aho Jarvis fast break special.
Yep, love
that one sounds kind of nice as well. Will Park says Martin Nook in the first period. Ehlers with the fantastic feed. So we're kind of a little all over the place. Also, we have a Chatfield from Slavin and Aho, 10-minute mark of the first period as well. And we also have our good friend Tofu to Great. Such a great name. We met Tofu in person, actually, at a game recently. He said that he's going to go with Jacob Slavin in the first period as well.
There was, I think it was game 3, may have been game 2. There was a pretty good little offensive move from Slavin to Chatfield where it was like those are two defensive defensemen and making like a pretty heady offensive play. The most liked comment right now on Twitter, Jankowski in the first 12 minutes.
That line's been good.
They have been. It's insane, and I don't know if there's like a message board or something that I'm not aware of where this is unifying. The last few games, a few times over the last few weeks, there's been like a weird group that has coagulated on a not typical first goal scorer prediction. We saw it at the beginning of this series on Eric Robinson. And I literally asked Walt Ruff, like, what do I not know about Eric Robinson? Why is everybody picking Eric Robinson? And obviously he's been pretty good scoring the puck in this series. We're having a similar moment with Jankowski, where this morning I saw Paul Ihander and I was like, hey, who's your first goal scorer? And he gave me Jankowski. And maybe that put my antennas up, but I've seen a ton of people picking Jankowski to the point where like the number one most liked prediction on the tweet, and there's over 100 predictions, is Jankowski in the first 12 minutes. The next is Svech building off of the overtime game winner last game. So somehow it's Jankowski, fourth line center, playing very, very well. That line's playing very, very well, but hasn't been scoring goals that haven't been taken away. Followed up closely by one of your best postseason goal scorers over the last few years, who just scored a game winner in overtime. It's the Jankowski is if it's the same vibes from the Robinson one a couple games ago, you might want to throw some anytime goal scorer on Mark Jankowski tonight if you're into that sort of thing.
By the way, Eric Robinson points in all 3 games of the series, including 2 goals. He's +3 rating as well. He's been good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That line has been good.
We've been championing that fourth line all season long.
Yep.
About how no other team's fourth line can consistently generate offense the way that they can. And anytime you see that fourth line out there, they're constantly in the offensive end. I mean, constantly.
Just recently, when Mark Jankowski signed his contract extension, not a little contract extension, there was like a why? And I'm going like, have you been watching the fourth line? That's why. Right there. That's why. And he does a little bit of everything, right? He can kill penalties. He can jump out there in a pinch and help out the power play. He face-offs. Like, he can do a little bit of everything.
I was talking with some guys from national media and some other guys up there, the Canadian media back there in Game 3, and just talking about how in tight space in these types of games, about how it's players like Robinson or Carrier, guys that all they know and all they do throughout the regular season is get to the middle of the ice and get between the dots. And those are the guys that, for some reason, are always so productive in the postseason. It's like, well, wait a second. How come their game translates? It's because everything's tighter. You got to fight for space between the face-off circles, between the dots. And that's what those guys just naturally do because they do it throughout the course of the entire season. And sure enough, those are the guys that you see scoring. Guys that are known for playing fast and play on the perimeter a lot, yeah, they can get some fancy goals and stuff here and there. But when the playoffs come, if they don't know how to get to the middle of the ice, they get quiet.
Mm-hmm.
They really do. And that's the thing about some of these guys. Like William Carrier doesn't play anything on the perimeter outside of like winning board battles behind the nets and in the corners. Otherwise, it's straight to the front of the net. And that's what those guys do. And those are the guys that are always generating offense, it feels like.
And I would say that one of the differences with the Canes is their version of those guys can like also skate pretty darn well. Right? That they're, glue guys, they're grimy guys, they're gritty guys. They also have some ability, right? So it's why their fourth line is playing so well. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. First goal scorer predictions are locked in for us and the listeners that called in, but you can continue sending in your first goal scorer predictions in the live chat on YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. Search for the channel, subscribe while you're there. Or you can also respond on Twitter at Donnelly Sports. I have a tweet up soliciting first goal scorer predictions. The reason why we use those two avenues to bring in the predictions is because they are time-stamped. So we know if you get them in before the game or not. Don't try any funny business. That's it for first goal scorer predictions. Starting five coming up next. Back after this.
It's Hockey Night in Carolina playoff edition. It's Game 4, Montreal.
They score! They score! It's Taylor Hall on the doorstep.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 7. Puck drop at 8.
They score! They score! Andrei Svechnikov wins it in overtime! And the Hurricanes have silenced the Bell Center.
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
A family office is a team built to handle the three biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today, 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Progressive knows it ain't easy navigating the open plains of home insurance. But there is one man who can help tame that wild herd of options. The Home Quote Explorer.
Note, Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is not a real person, but an online tool that lets you compare home insurance.
He's the type of feller who helps you decide on the right insurance, even if it ain't with him.
Again, not a person, just an online tool that helps you find great home coverage.
A real pioneer.
Okay, fine. Just do the thing. Yeah! Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar. The better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. So good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Stop by Handy Hugo's for great deals on your favorite Pepsi products. Head to Handy Hugo's today.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Weather. On
WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. Tonight, we'll have the small chance of a storm mainly north of the Triangle. Lows dip down near 70 degrees. Thursday, we'll be back in the upper 80s. It's warm, and there will be some isolated storms, but the chance is down to 30%. Friday looks dry with a high of 85.
This hour of The Drive is brought to you by Law Tigers. Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS before you contact your insurance company. Case evaluations are always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today, up 182 points, closing at 50,644.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're obviously going to be talking some Canes hockey later in the starting five, but right at the top of the hour, I do want to remind you the game will be here on 99.9 The Fan. So I encourage you all to just keep your dial tuned right here. And if you have to leave your radio, 99.9 The Fan app. Download it. Google Play App Store. Completely free. And you can have the game, Mike Maniscalco, Trip Tracy, and all of their magical energy right there with you no matter where you go. As long as your phone has connection, you can take 99.9 The Fan with you. Just give us a 5-star rating when you download it from the Google Play or App Store. Now, it's 5 o'clock, which means it's time for the starting five, starting with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gilgeous-Alexander pulls back. His three is a miss. Long offensive rebound. Out to McCain for three, and he drains it. 15 second-half points for Jared McCain, giving Oklahoma City a 15-point lead.
The NBA playoffs roll on. Eastern Conference settled. Been settled since Tuesday. Been settled since Monday. My days are all mixed up because of the holiday. Been settled since Monday when the Knicks rolled Cleveland, swept them. But some might say the actual NBA Finals are going on the other side. Oklahoma City and the Thunder. OKC now leads the series 3-2. OKC is pretty impressive. And the reason I say that is because they've lost some players to injuries, and they still come away appearing significantly deeper in their roster than the Spurs do. Like, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, worthy MVP. I don't like the way he plays. Falls down a lot, draws a lot of fouls, whatever. Obviously a super talented player. Back-to-back MVPs. He is far and away not the most important person to the Oklahoma City Thunder winning. That would be Sam Presti, their GM. And we follow it because it's Jared McCain who played at Duke. I follow it because he was a draft pick of the Sixers and should still be on the Sixers. And I'm a Sixers fan. But he's the perfect example. Perfect example. They have a couple guys go down with injuries, not able to play. One of them, a really expensive player, in Jalen Williams. Jared McCain steps into the starting lineup, plays 33 minutes, hits for 20 points, 18 of them in the second half, and they win the game. And that's not against just anybody. It's against the Spurs, who, when they play against darn near anybody else, look like the deeper team. They've got a really good roster. But I'll tell you what, not against OKC. Especially if Wemby has an off night like he had, they don't have a shot. They need their alien to play alien-like. Here's just talking depth, not talking like quality of roster, just depth of roster. I've made this analogy a few times. The cliche or the I don't know, analogy that a Chrysler 300 looks like a Bentley until a Bentley pulls up. Like, the Spurs look like they have depth until they play OKC. And suddenly OKC's like 12th guy is outplaying their 8th. It's pretty jarring. And it's why OKC has the lead, and it's why if the Spurs are going to drag out this series or potentially win it, it's largely going to be because of their top guys. Wemby's going to have to go bananas. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
I feel great about playing football right now.
Carolina Panthers OTAs yesterday and today. That is actual on-the-field action. No contacts, no full pads, but they were getting after it in practice. Yesterday it rained a bunch. They practiced through it. Back on the field today. Listen, I know that there is an angel and a devil on your shoulder kind of when it comes to OTAs. The devil is saying it means nothing. Don't pay attention. They're just doing walkthroughs and basic practice. Do not take anything out of it. And then the angel on the other side is going like, we haven't seen football in a while, and they are throwing one-on-ones. You do want to see that rep, don't you? And then I'm like, all right, I will watch the whole thing 6 times. How was the ball placement from Bryce? Like, you get down there very quickly. And I will agree with, I think I did that backwards. The angel should have been the one saying, oh, don't worry about it. The devil should have been the one tempting you with make big decisions about players based on what they do in shorts and a T-shirt in May.
Analyze this form.
Yeah, now we're talking. I'm going to side with the angel telling me not to take any of that into account for the most part, but there are a few things that I do think matter. One of them is, are injured guys or guys coming off an injury playing? Like Tedero McMillan did not play. I don't think it's a big deal, right? He's dealing with some ailment. But what I do think that shows is they are very cautious with injuries. The Panthers are. So the fact that Jonathan Brooks was out there running around, if they're being cautious with injuries and he's out there running around, that would tell you that they're pretty confident with his recovery and pretty confident that they can get out there and let him go. Then you pair that with, he looked like a healthy guy running around, right? He looked like he trusted his knee. I think that's a really good sign and could potentially explain why they haven't been more active adding to the running back room. Let's play some audio for you from Dave Canales on what it was like having Jonathan Brooks, their second-round pick. How many drafts ago was it? Was it 3 drafts ago? Is that how far we're going? 2 drafts ago?
2024 draft.
Okay, so 2 drafts ago. 2 years ago. We'll go with that. Dave Canales was asked what it was like having Jonathan Brooks out there, who really hasn't even gotten to practice a ton since joining the Panthers. This is what he had to say.
It brings me a lot of joy to be able to see him out there. Didn't see any hesitation, just a lot of speed and decisiveness in how he ran the ball today, and got him in the perimeter on a screen and made some good yards on one of our screens today. And not just me, but I think his teammates would say the same thing. They would be up here saying the same thing, just really excited to see Jonathan be out there and do what he loves to do.
That's all nice. Can he run the ball? Oh, you feel good for him. Great. Can he pick up the first down on 3rd and short? He's kind of because they haven't made many big moves in the running back room, I guess he's one of the X factors for the offense. We'll see. The other news that came out of OTAs yesterday that everybody was really excited about was Bryce Young was yelling. The practice yesterday started a little sloppy, I guess. A couple drops, maybe some not great routes due to it seemed like due to the weather because they were in a monsoon a little bit. And then once the rain stopped, the sloppiness persisted. And Bryce, within earshot of the reporters, yelled some things. Let him know that was unacceptable. Let's hear from Dave Canales on seeing Bryce as a leader in situations like that at OTAs.
Just total command of the system and knowing what he's looking for, the timing of things, and the more that he owns it, the more he's looking for specific things out of the tight ends, wideouts, and backs as the concepts come alive. And, I heard him get a little bit passionate about, we got a little bit of a monsoon for a second there in practice, and once the rain had passed, he was like, hey, let's lock back in. We got to come up with these balls. And I think he said it in a little more colorful language than that. But I just love it. I love the fact that he's taking ownership, and the guys see that and rally around that, and something that they all appreciate.
A little bit more colorful language than that. Listen, whatever Bryce Young lets the media hear, he knows what he's letting the media hear. The guy has not misspoken once. He is media trained. If we heard it, trust me, he's okay with everybody hearing it. You can like it or dislike it. He knew what he was doing there. That is number 4. Let's get to number 3.
On the first try, Theodore to McNabb. Another lob ahead. Stone's behind the defense. He's in alone. Mark Stone scores! And Vegas leads 1-0.
Vegas swept Colorado in the Western Conference Finals. Dunzo, they're waiting to find out who their opponent will be. Which, by the way, is the first time this postseason, if the Canes do advance, that somebody else is waiting for them rather than vice versa, which is just a little different if the Canes advance. You ready for some stats about the Vegas trip to the Stanley Cup? And we'll start with one that connects them to the Hurricanes.
Okay.
This year's Vegas Golden Knights are the first Stanley Cup final team with under 40 wins in an 80-plus game season since the 2002 Hurricanes.
Oh, look at that. What happened in that 2002 playoffs for the Hurricanes? They lost.
Yeah, we mean once they got there? Yep, yeah. They didn't win. So, yeah, I guess Vegas, in 4 years, you're going to have a magical team. not this year. Golden Knights, 95 points in the regular season would not have been enough to make the playoffs in the East. They're going to the Stanley Cup final. The Golden Knights were plus 2,500 to sweep Colorado in the Western Conference Finals. If you had the guts to pull the trigger on that one, good on you, because I don't think many people were anticipating a sweep there. Should we get into some stats for the Avalanche? That could be fun as well, right?
Yes.
The Avalanche finished the regular season with 121 points. Top 10 all time. They were 8-1 through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Swept in the Western Conference Finals. Do you believe in the President's Trophy curse?
I mean, it's hard not to. Hard not to.
Is there a causation versus correlation? Is there a separate cause other than just like expectations? Is it too tiring to win that many games and that many points? Is everybody like you're too obviously a threat, so everybody is gunning for you? So they're all putting extra thought into it. For my Survivor fans out there that watch the show, are you establishing yourself as a threat too early in the game so you're guaranteed to get voted out? Is it everybody's chasing the President's Trophy team? I don't know, but it's getting to the point now where there's got to be something to it. It can't just be a coincidence.
Last team to win it was the 2012-2013 Chicago Blackhawks, the last team that won both the Stanley Cup and the President's Trophy. Last time it happened before that was the 07-08 Detroit Red Wings.
Is it a flaw in the NHL playoffs that so very rarely does supposedly the best team end up winning the whole thing?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a flaw in the playoffs.
Or is it a feature? Is it an asset?
That's an interesting question, especially the way the playoffs are formatted, because we did see Colorado obviously have to play. They got an easy matchup in the first round, being the top seed. They got to play the LA Kings, who stink. So they got to play them in the first round. But then you had to play, granted they won it in 5 games, but they got to play Minnesota, who was the 3rd seed in the West. And then, whereas Vegas got to play the 7th seed in the West, and then they got to play the 6th seed in the West, then they had to play Colorado. So I don't know if it's just kind of, I don't know if it's a flaw in the system. It's just the playoffs are so difficult.
Yep, I agree with that.
It's just so difficult to win.
Let's run back some conversations that we used to have a whole bunch of times. Did Martin Necas shrink in the conference finals?
What? No.
What was the cause? How do you fix it?
Remember the thing I was saying earlier about guys that can get to the middle of the ice and between the dots and fight for that space in playoffs when things get more difficult in the postseason?
Were you talking about somebody specific?
It's just funny hearing, just seeing Colorado fans react to Martin Necas over the course of this 4-game series.
If they were paying attention, there were signs.
Yep.
Is
Not
it
like you didn't know.
Is it a wrap for Brent Burns?
That's a really good question. I think he still wants to play.
That's a bit less fun to have. That's a bit less like, ha, point and laugh. It's more like bittersweet.
He's had such a great career. I would not be surprised. If he wants to play, there's going to be a team out there that gives him a shot. Hey, you're going to be a 6-pair, run our second power play type deal. Or, our 6 defenseman, third pair, run the second power play unit type of thing.
Be a presence. We've got some young guys we need you to mentor.
Yeah. I mean, Seth Jarvis spoke glowingly about how much of an impact he had on his career early on. So he could definitely be that guy. I mean, he could still be an effective player. If he wants to play, there's a spot out there for him. The question is, how much does he want to keep doing it?
He's been playing a long time.
Yeah.
Which credits him, like, conditioning-wise and everything.
He'd still do it.
He'll still win a race. He'll still win a conditioning test is what I'm getting at there. I mean, he debuted in the league in the 03-04 season.
Yeah.
Hockey is a brutal sport to play that long.
He's been around longer than Alex Ovechkin. Keep that in perspective. Yeah. Longer than Crosby.
And Ovi's been around a long time.
I know.
That's number 3. That's crazy. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
We have some updated game times and schedules for college football today, week 0 through week 3. Dennis, can you give us the highlights for at least the teams that we cover here in the Triangle?
All right, so as we all know, week 0, which is August 29th, is when both the UNC Tar Heels as well as the NC State Wolfpack, they begin their season. Mm-hmm. UNC is going to be out in Ireland playing TCU, whereas NC State's going to be in Brazil taking on Virginia. We all know the game times for that already, but in case you've missed it, North Carolina versus TCU out in Ireland. That is a noon kickoff on that Saturday, August 29th, week 0. NC State, Virginia, that's a 3:30 kickoff. Now, the next week is week 1, like the official start, I guess you could say. Well, because of the overseas travel for NC State and North Carolina, they actually don't play a game week 1. Duke does play a game at home against Tulane week 1. That's Saturday, September 5th. That's a 3:30 kickoff. Now, week 2 is when both Carolina and NC State have their home openers. Friday, September 11 is when NC State hosts Richmond. That's a 7 o'clock kickoff on ESPNU. So they get a Friday night game. There's actually quite a few. There's 4 ACC teams playing Friday night. It's kind of crazy. But we have NC State playing a home game that Friday night, September 11, week 2. That's their home opener. Then week 2, that's Saturday, September 12th, a noon kickoff. And North Carolina hosts East Tennessee State. So that's when that game is taking place. Also, week 2, Duke travels up to Illinois. So the return matchup from that game last season. And then in week 3, North Carolina goes on the road to Clemson, week 3, September 29th. That's a noon kickoff on ESPN. And then also NC State travels to Vanderbilt that day as well. That's a 12:45 Eastern game, actually on the SEC network.
I guess it's not technically a bye, whatever you call it. I like the week 0 week off.
Yeah.
You get like, as long as you get up for it, and I would imagine you would because it's a special game in another country. As long as you get up for and show pretty well in that game, I like the idea of like putting something real on tape and then getting a week to evaluate, learn from it, and then almost like restart your season for real in week 2, which obviously, both teams that are going to other countries will have. I kind of like that as a scheduling quirk.
One thing I failed to mention, week 3, Duke is at home against Stanford. That's a 4 o'clock kick on the CW.
You're gonna need every channel, everybody. It'll annoy you, but you'll find the games eventually.
So Carolina, this is an interesting schedule quirk for them. They're bye weeks because everyone gets 2 open weeks in college football. Now, sometimes that open week is week 0, but North Carolina, they play a game week 0. They don't play anyone week 1, and then actually week 5, they actually have an open date as well. NC State plays week 0. They don't play anyone week 1, and then you're looking at let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, week 6. Week 7, after they play Wake Forest, they have an open date as well, before they got to go out to Stanford.
All right. They got a lot of UNC went very different from last year's schedule. They went like heavy on the Mondays and Fridays. This year it's Saturdays, noon. Like they're maybe trying to grind in the shadows a little bit there, but it is aggressive. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Obviously, we'll do more schedule evaluation as college football gets closer, but now it is time for number 1.
The one! Here's a giveaway. Svechnikov with it, trying to beat both Hudson and Dobson. Svechnikov will hang on to the puck. Send across. Jarvis has to settle it. He'll get it right back. A chance. They score! They score! Andrei Svechnikov wins it in overtime!
Canes, Game 4 tonight. They lead the series 2-1, Eastern Conference Finals. It's on the road in Montreal. Dennis, I'll put you on the spot like I always do. I don't even know if it's still putting you on the spot because you know it's coming. But put you on the spot like I always do. I need an if-then statement. If blank happens, then the Carolina Hurricanes beat Montreal and take a commanding 3-1 lead in the Eastern Conference Finals.
If the top line of Sebastian Aho, Seth Jarvis, and Andrei Svechnikov, A, score a goal at 5-on-5, and B, they're at least an even rating, Canes win. They get a 5-on-5 goal, and they're at least an even rating on the plus-minus, then they win tonight.
All right. Putting a lot on the top line.
Yes.
Actually, I think both teams are expecting more out of their top line, especially since Game 1 for Montreal. But they're it doesn't mean they're playing awful. And actually what was it? Game 3 was fascinating because I think Canes fans are so thirsty. They're just craving a Aho goal. And by the way, I think Aho is he's not pressing in his play, but I think he'd really like one as well. The little almost mishit, and it still almost fit its way through Dobesh. And then he was off to the side, hands in the air, going please, get me. Did it cross the line? Please. I think everybody's kind of so craving an Aho goal. He has been doing a lot of good things. Game 3 was a solid game for him. It just didn't have the goal. So I still think you're looking for that big moment of exhale where you're all right, he got one. But he'll have his fingerprints on the game regardless. And I mean, and what better example of that is than he was the net front, he was the screen on the game-winning goal. Doesn't show up on the stat sheet, but probably should in some way. And it almost did for him, but it did not. So a lot of top line there. And that would also apply. Those 3 guys are going to have a big part of it. That also applies to the power play. I think the Canes have a little bit of upward mobility in their power play, meaning just getting more looks, getting more in rhythm, moving the puck a little bit more. Sometimes it gets a little stagnant, but with Ghost scoring in Game 3, Svech scoring, maybe some of these guys are starting to feel a little bit more, and their power play can pick it up. We didn't talk enough about the goalies, so we'll maybe hit that in a little bit. But do we want to say whose birthday it is? Do we want to try to ruin birthdays?
Yeah, we should ruin his birthday.
It's Dobesh's birthday today.
That's right.
Again, try to ruin birthdays. It sounds like a really mean thing to say, but it happens. You know, people got to lose on their birthdays sometimes too.
It's true.
25 years old. Goaltender.
He's good.
Give him goals for his birthday. Whole bunch of them. 25. One for each year. You know you know what? Just do you think a ref would buy it if maybe you tap Dobesh and you're I'm just giving him birthday hits. I'm just giving him his birthday punches. That's what it's nothing to do with hockey. That's just what you do on someone's birthday. I got bruises from when I turned 27. He's got to happen. Think they would buy that? Probably not.
Maybe not.
Probably not. But these refs, who knows? They have not been great in the series. So can you imagine, like, after review, no penalty. We didn't realize it was his birthday. Those were not roughing. That was just birthday taps. Play ball. That's not even the right sport. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We need numbers game contestants. 919-860-5326. Call in now to play the numbers game and potentially win yourself a $25 Auto Bell car wash gift card. So you get really multiple things. You get the glory of winning the numbers game, the honor that comes with that, and you get a spotless car with your $25 Auto Bell car wash gift card. So call in now. We need 2 contestants, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326 for your chance to compete in the numbers game, which is coming up next.
One goal.
Let's go, Canes!
Slavin, he gets it to Hall. Hall whips it across. Blake with a shot. He scores! It's over!
Hoist Lord Stanley's Cup.
Oh, this is going to be fun, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Wow. Playoff hockey. Here we go.
Here's a chance. Sebastian Aho in. Short hit back in. Scores! Oh, talk to me, Shorty! Carolina!
The Triangle's official home for the Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
It's bow time. We know there's a lot of breakfast sandwiches out there, but only Bojangles has the legendary Cajun Filet Biscuit. Shake things up with a boldly seasoned chicken breast on a fluffy, made-from-scratch biscuit with bow rounds and your choice of drink. So when you're craving something bold, something different, something that takes breakfast to a whole new level, the Cajun Filet Biscuit is waiting for you, along with crispy bow rounds and a drink. Order in the app or at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Time to satisfy your craving for Cajun with a Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuit. Bojangles Cajun Filet Biscuits are served all day, every day. And with that biscuit, why not add Bo's Iced Coffee? That's right, Bo's Iced Coffee with sweet cream. Choose caramel or French vanilla. Bo's new Iced Coffee, a great way to sweeten your day. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's Bo time.
Life's great stories are built on yes and. Yes to the big game and the private suite. Yes to the beach and sailing offshore. Yes to traveling the country and exploring new ones. With the new Millionaire for Life from the North Carolina Education Lottery, you can say yes to $1 million now and every year for a lifetime. Millionaire for Life. Winning is just the beginning. Drawing 7 days a week. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 8.47. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and that cool, refreshing Mountain Dew. So give me my good friends. Give me a dew.
Grab some ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Stop by Handy Hugo's for great deals on your favorite Mountain Dew products. Head to Handy Hugo's today.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It doesn't happen often, but you have a rare opportunity to jump straight into the fire here. Just had a line open up, so we have one contestant, Ryan in Spivey's corner. We need another. Call in now if you want to play the numbers game and potentially win yourself a $25 Auto Bell car wash gift card. The number, 919-860-5326. If you were thinking about calling, but you're like, I didn't get in early enough, it just opened, so you got another chance. 919-860-5326. We need somebody to challenge Ryan in jersey number trivia. We get to pick categories and do all that kind of stuff, but really, it's jersey number trivia. 919-860-5326. Soon as we get a caller. Or we can just run with Ryan and just give him the win. He'll have to earn it, but we'll see. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll bring Ryan on. If somebody calls in by the time he's done, they'll get to roll right in. Don't say I didn't give you the opportunity. Again, the number 919-860-5326. Let's go to Ryan in Spivey's Corner. Ryan, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, perfect. I guess we'll just jump right into it. We'll ask you a question just for fun. Big Canes game tonight. What is the perfect food to pair with a big game? Since it's on the road, you're probably in your house, or maybe you're out at a restaurant, maybe Carolina Ale House. By the way, we do have an opponent now on the phone, so you're going to have to win this one. But what's the food that you would pair with the big game?
I want to get buffalo chicken dip. Yeah, and we're going to Carolina Ale House.
All right, beautiful. You're going to go to the Ale House. Buff chicken dip. Good pick. Dennis, who's the contestant that will be going up against Ryan?
We have Dan and Wendell.
All right, did you hear Ryan's answer, by the way?
Buffalo chicken dip.
Buff chicken dip. All right, we go to Dan and Wendell. Dan, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, you are thrown right into the fire here, so answer this question for me. Big Canes game tonight, Game 4. What's the best food you can pair with watching a big hockey game?
Oh, I got to go with barbecue nachos.
Barbecue nachos.
At the arena. Been my go-to for years.
Oh, okay, at the arena. So, Dennis?
Yes, sir.
Your options are Ryan, who went buff chicken dip and said he's going to be at the Ale House, or Dan and Wendell, who went with the barbecue nachos at the arena. They've been his go-to for years.
Well, here's the thing. You asked specifically when the Canes are on the road, so you can't get the nachos from the arena. So I got to go with the buffalo chicken dip.
All right, although I will say some people desperately want to watch Party at the arena.
That is a conversation we can have.
That
is a conversation that we can have at another time.
There's a loud group of Canes fans.
That's a conversation worth having.
All right, so we'll potentially have that conversation. That does mean Ryan gets to go first, though. Dan, don't worry, you'll have your chance. Just have to sit on hold. Ryan, are you ready to pick a category?
Yes.
All right, the categories are NFL, Panthers only. Major League Baseball players, guys that have hit home runs 3 times in a single game. NBA players that played in this year's NBA playoffs, or NHL, Hurricanes only.
NHL, Hurricanes only.
All right, I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. There'll be 30 seconds on the clock, 1 pass if you need it. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No.
All right, perfect. In that case, your time will start when you hear the horn. Jordan Stahl, Carolina Hurricanes.
11.
Correct. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Carolina Hurricanes.
87.
Incorrect. Martin Helena, Carolina Hurricanes.
Skip.
Jerome Sampson, Carolina Hurricanes.
56.
Incorrect. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Carolina Hurricanes. Say it again.
15.
Incorrect. Martin Helena, Carolina Hurricanes. You were having a little bit of connection issue there. I was doing my best to hear it. You did get Stahl, the captain, with number 11. So 1 out of 5. Stay on the line. We'll see if it holds up. For those of you playing at home, Kotkaniemi, 82. Jelena, 23. And Sampson, 67 or 71 is what we were looking for. But 1 out of 5 is the number to beat. Ryan is on hold, and that means it is time for Dan to take his shot. Dan, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL, Panthers only, MLB, guys that have hit 3 home runs in a single game, or NBA, played in this year's playoffs.
Let's have fun and go MLB.
I like it. Let's have some fun. We'll see if it's fun or not. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. 1 pass if you need it. You do need at least 2 for the win. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Go ahead.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Mookie Betts, Los Angeles Dodgers. Say it again.
11.
Incorrect. Fernando Tatis Jr., San Diego Padres.
49.
Incorrect. Mookie Betts, Los Angeles Dodgers.
The 12.
Incorrect. Fernando Tatis Jr., San Diego Padres.
21.
Incorrect. Mookie Betts, Los Angeles Dodgers.
22.
Incorrect. Fernando Tatis Jr., San Diego Padres.
23.
Correct. You got one. You avoided the shutout. Unfortunately, when there's a tie, which we have right now, it goes to whoever goes first. So, Dan, I want to thank you for jumping straight into the fire, calling in and going right on. But you are not the winner today. Hopefully you had some fun.
I did. Thank you.
All right. And that means Ryan is the winner. Ryan, congratulations.
Thank you.
I don't think I updated everybody. Mookie Betts, we were looking for 50. But that's neither here nor there for Ryan. You are the winner, and you get the $25 Autobell Car Wash gift card.
Yay.
All right. Stay on the line. Yay. Stay on the line, and Dennis will grab the info he needs to get you your prize. That was fantastic. Yay. I'm not making fun of him. I genuinely like any kind of genuine enthusiasm after a win. Always puts a smile on my face. I'm big on, like, if you're going to win, celebrate, right? If you're going to win, enjoy it. Don't call in and risk, the embarrassment of not getting many right, and then you get it, and then you want to act like you're Barry Sanders and just hand the ball to the ref and run to the sideline. Nah, spike the ball.
Yay.
We need to put that over like a Svetch just wrecking ball goal, and then as he goes to like fist bump, just yay.
Yay.
That's great. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. While Dennis gets that info, I do want to remind everybody, you can hear the Canes game tonight right here on 99.9 The Fan. Not a half hour, During the regular season, it's a half-hour Storm Watch with Adam Gold. During the postseason, it becomes a 1 hour long Storm Watch. So with the game scheduled for an 8 o'clock puck drop, 7 o'clock here on 99.9 The Fan, Adam will take over and get you ready. You'll hear from Rod. You'll hear from a bunch of different people as he gets everybody set and locked in for Game 4. I should also mention, you can hear all the Canes games from this point forward in the postseason. With the Canes leading 2-1, we know there is not only a Game 4, but we know there is a Game 5, which would be 8 o'clock on Friday at home. Beyond that, it's all if necessary. If the Canes win tonight, win Friday, it's over. Then we start scheduling the Stanley Cup final against Vegas. If Montreal's able to win either or both of the next two, then we start talking Sunday, we start talking Tuesday, and we figure out when these games will be played and what time and everything else. But for now, what you know is there's a game today, 8 o'clock. There's a game Friday, 8 o'clock. And both games will be right here on 99.9 The Fan. Tonight, obviously, on the road. Friday would be at home for the Carolina Hurricanes at the Lenovo Center. So, or I should say Friday will be at home, not would be, because that game's definitely being played, whether the Canes are up 3-1 or it's tied 2-2. I think that's all of the housekeeping we need. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. It'd be great if you join in on those conversations. Tomorrow's Thursday, so we will have a feedback frenzy, which means Dennis or whoever's producing the show will dive into our YouTube comments and find the best and grab those and bring them onto the air. So if you wanted to throw a little hey, look at me, you want to be a little eager, just say for feedback frenzy. Not guaranteeing it'll get picked, but it could catch their eye. So that's all in the YouTube comments. Subscribe while you're there, 99.9 The Fan. Now, before we move on and we'll make some picks and get to some more conversations, Dennis, you have something to say before that.
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick for my good friends over at Law Tigers. Something I always want to make sure everyone is safe out there on the road. Whether you're driving, obviously in your car, or riding in a motorcycle. Believe it or not, the month of May is Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month. You're going to see a lot of motorcycles out there on the road as the weather is warmed up. You're going to see more bikes out there, so just be cautious. As a motorcycle rider, I stress this, and I stress this continuously. Do everything you can to be visible out there on the road. Your lane riding position, the distance that you keep away from other vehicles, things along those lines. Be safe when you're out there on the road. But you can do everything right, and accidents still can happen. This is where Law Tiger steps in to help you. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS even before you contact your insurance company. Your case evaluation with Law Tigers is always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Law Tigers attorneys are part of the motorcycle riding community. They're there to fight for you. Insurance companies want to give you the least amount possible. Law Tigers, they're there to benefit the rider in time of need. So give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, will be back to make some picks all about tonight's game. Stick around.
Move your sports day forward.
Doubling the college football playoff from 12 to 24 teams is change for the better. ACC, Big 12, Big 10, all on board. More access to the title game, and more moments for players to celebrate. A quick history lesson. You probably forgot the Natty was once determined by reporter polling with no game played, and that was less than 30 years ago.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Thanks. Is oil marked down?
Save up to $15 when you buy 5 quarts and a filter.
And fuel treatment?
2 for $9 on Lucas.
Brake pads?
Marked down to free.
Free?
Get free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 Duralast rotors.
That's several markdowns.
For many more miles.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Big game for both teams, obviously. We're worried about tonight and playing our game and playing the best that we can. And we know what's at stake in the series, and I think we have momentum, and it's important for us to carry that into tonight and know just know how we have to play. I think we're a group that is pretty consistent, and we don't have a lot of lulls, and it's important. Tonight is not one of those nights.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Canes tonight, Game 4. Pivotal Game 4. Big difference between 3-1 and 2-2. Don't need to tell anybody that. It's pretty obvious. But big difference between 3-1 and 2-2. You're going to have a very desperate Montreal team. You're going to have to match that desperation, if not exceed that desperation. They're going to try to play physical. They're going to try to match your physicality. You got to exceed that as well. And obviously, you got to exceed their scoring output. That's how you do it. Or you just go to overtime and do it then. That seems to be working for the Canes.
Hey, by hook or by crook?
3-2. 3-2 in overtime. 3-2 in overtime. 3-2 in overtime.
Real quick before we get into these picks.
Yep.
If you're Carolina, are you approaching this as like must win?
I mean, I'm doing everything I can to approach it as that way, but if I lose, I'm then going like, that wasn't must win. 2-2 that's not an issue. I mean, then you're just winning a 3-game series, and you've proven you can do that. You just won one. You're up 2-1, right? That's like a 3-game series. So I'm trying everything I can to convince myself it's must win, because I do think Montreal is going to treat it that way.
Yeah.
So like I said, you have to match that. Desperation cannot be uneven. So yeah, I'm talking myself into it as much as I can. Whether it's true or not is irrelevant to whether I believe it or not. So I'm just trying to make myself believe it is must win. But if it's 2-2, I still think the Canes would be the favorite to win. I'm obviously think it's changed now because Vegas closed it out last night. But during the day yesterday, which is the last I checked, the Canes were minus 110 to win the Stanley Cup. It was 2-1 then, it's 2-1 now. Like that does, I don't know. It struck me as like, whoa, people are really confident what the Carolina Hurricanes have coming. And no disrespect to the Canes, I don't think anybody that's up 2-1 in a conference final should be minus 110 to not only win that but also win the next series. So it's an interesting place to be, but I think their desperation needs to be there in full. Dennis, you seemed like when I brought up the argument for a watch party for a road game at the Lenovo Center, you had some thoughts there. Is there something you want to get into?
Oh, I think Canes fans are clamoring for the ability to go to Lenovo, to the arena, to go watch the Canes on the road during the playoffs. We've seen the Bell Center do it. We've seen a lot of these arenas around the league do that. Mm-hmm. And I think especially if the Canes make the Cup final, I think it's something that the Carolina Hurricanes need 100% explore doing. Get people in the building, especially because people want to be
amongst friends.
Not amongst friends, but just being in that atmosphere, just being around other people that want to watch the game, and it's a good central location to do it. And obviously you got the big screens and everything that are there, and I think the Canes can do, hey, during intermissions, we can do contests on the ice like you would normally during a game. You could do all kinds of different stuff, even during commercial timeouts and so forth. I think that communal aspect is what Canes fans really want, and being up there in Montreal, now again, you're in a downtown location in Montreal for the Bell Center, but being up there in Montreal, just people that were gathered for where they're like their watch party basically right outside the arena there, it was packed. It was crazy, and I think that's what fans really want to have. And I would also not be shocked as well is that, let's say it's Game 3 and the Canes are on the road, and people are going to watch the game, let's say at Lenovo. Fans want to go tailgate and do the exact same thing. Like they want to have that experience because not everyone can afford to get to a ticket to a playoff game, but I can afford for like if it's $5 to get into Lenovo and it's maybe $5 to park, I can have that exact same environment type feel and still have that communal experience with other people and watch the game in Lenovo on the big screen there. I think fans 100% want it, and I think the Canes should 100% be open to doing something like that as well when they get to the Cup final.
And I do know that there are previous, like Carolina Ale House is the official watch party, and Carolina Ale House is awesome. It is a great place to watch a game, and I stand by that. I think the move, if you want to do the Lenovo Center thing, is to integrate Carolina Ale House into it.
Yeah.
And whether that's, I don't know, them bringing over some food and selling, or it's during those contests, you're giving away gift cards and Ale House things. The whole thing brought to you, like you can.
Yeah, the whole watch party sponsored by the Ale House.
Like I understand that is a partnership that they very much value and do not want to step on any toes. I just think both sides are staples in the area and know how to service and know how to take care of the fans and the sports fans in the area. So I think they can work together on it. I'm not advocating to either of them to do wrong to the other. I just think it would be cool to have that atmosphere with thousands of fans together in one place.
And here's the thing. I think fans will turn out to both locations as well.
I agree.
Because people are like, hey, you know what? I don't want to deal with the parking and all that kind of stuff. I got the Carolina Ale House that's right here down the road from me, whether they want to go to the one in Cary, they want up in Wake Forest, whatever it is. Hey, I can pop over to that and enjoy the experience at those things as well. I think that's something that needs to be explored. When the Canes win the Cup.
There you go. With that being said, let's make some picks.
Let's actually get to the goaltending tonight. It's something we didn't really talk about a whole lot. Over under number of saves for Jakub Dobeš, the Montreal Canadiens goaltender. His birthday today. He turned 25, but the over under set at 28.5.
Saves made?
28.5 saves made by Jakub Dobeš.
Interesting. The funny part is the all of the focus is on how many shots that Freddie has been facing. Dobeš has been really good. There's a lot of talk of how did they end up going to overtime when they're being outshot like this? And a lot of times the answer is simply Dobeš has been really good. 28.5. I believe he would have been under in game 2, over in game 3.
And over in game 2 as well.
Give me the over. Give me the over. I think it like naturally as the series goes along, fatigue sets in. I think it could be a little bit more sloppy and things. So, I think the Canes will get their fair share of shots off.
Over under saves for Freddie Anderson, 19.5.
I mean, if history is saying anything, 12 and 13 or 13 and 13, whatever it is, the last 2 games. Gosh, what was the number?
19.5.
Am I going to go? I feel like you got to take the under there, but that seems ridiculous.
Well, here's the thing. Game 1, it was under that too.
All right, then, yeah, give me the under. Give me the under. It's crazy to have that number in the teens in a conference finals game, but, yeah, give me the under.
All right, here's a shot total here for you. Seth Jarvis, over under 2.5 shots on goal today.
Seth Jarvis, 2.5. He was quite aggressive last game. Or 2 games ago. They're all bleeding together. Give me the over. I think that line's going to be more aggressive. I think they have tasted the flesh of the net in overtime, and they are now bloodthirsty. I think that group's going to be more aggressive, so give me Seth Jarvis on the over.
Okay, Andrei Svechnikov, over under 3.5 shots on goal.
Over.
Okay.
I think that group is, and hopefully some power play opportunities as well, so it's not just all 5-on-5 with that group. But like I said, I think they have the thirst for blood of the goal. I think they want it.
Jackson Blake, 2.5 shots on goal. Over under.
Good number. I'll go 2, but I think they're.
So you're going the under here.
They're highlighty. I think he's moving and shaking on his way to those shot attempts. He also occasionally gets a little too fancy and just misses the net wide and things like that. So, and actually, in game 3, he had a real you gotta shoot that dude, and he didn't shoot it. So, I'll take the under, but I'm hoping I'm wrong there.
All right, one final one here. Shots on goal. Taylor Hall, 1.5.
Over.
Okay.
Over. 1.5. I mean, it seems like that's got to be an over.
He averages 1.9.
Well, then I was on the right side.
He's just very efficient.
I was going to say, that's actually crazy with how many points and things he's scoring. Yeah, give me the over. I mean, 2. Like anyone in the top 6, I think I would take the over on 2. That's probably not good gambling, but it's life's too short to bet the under.
All right, block shots. Let's go Jacob Slavin, 2.5, over under.
Has he been – I'm trying to think. So often it seems like he should have an opportunity to block a shot and he just takes the puck before the guy even gets the shot off.
He's averaging 1.6 block shots per game this postseason.
Yeah, give me the under.
Okay.
Because I picked Freddie under – like I just don't – but then blocks. Now give me the under. Give me the under.
Okay, Sean Walker, same number, 2.5.
Give me the over.
Okay, over. Right.
I gotta be honest. I think the blue line's playing really, really well. If you give me the top 4, I'm just shooting darts here a little bit on how many block shots they're gonna have. There's so much other stuff that goes into how many block shots are gonna end up. Part of it would have to be right place, right time, but also it's the shots Montreal is taking. It's how much is how much are your forwards particularly possessing the puck. So don't tail me on how many block shots these guys are having. I would say slightly educated guess. We're like kindergarten education guests over here.
Okay, here are a couple prop ones as well. Sebastian Aho, points in the first period, plus 300. You taking it?
Points in the first period, Sebastian. He is my first goal scorer prediction.
So there you
go.
It's
Sebastian Aho in the first.
Hammer that one.
Give me the goal, let alone the points. Give me the Aho big money payout, something big in the first period.
Okay, Keandre Miller. Let's go points in the game. Keandre Miller, half a point. Over, under, half a point. So basically, does he get a point today, yes or no?
I like the way he's been playing. I just points are so hard to come by, particularly for the Blue Liners. I'll take the under. I think he has a good game, but I don't know if he gets points.
Seth Jarvis, 1.5 points per game today. Over,
1.5?
under. 1.5.
I'll take the under. I mean, there's just not that many points out there. I think he could score a goal. I don't know if he gets a multi-point night.
Sebastian Aho, 1.5 points.
Over, baby.
Taking the over.
Over. I need it. I need it like I need air to breathe. Sebastian Aho, big game. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm not going to be the guy that picked it to happen 11 times straight and then not on the 12th. It's going to happen. Big game for Aho.
All right, final one here. Goal total for the game, 5.5.
Under. It's 3-2 in overtime. Canes win.
That's fair.
Speaking of final
with the trends.
Final score predictions, Dennis, who do you have winning and what's the score?
This one feels a little bit more high scoring for me. Give me Carolina 4-3.
4-3. Is it like sloppy 4-3 or is it?
I think it's a little bit more of an open game.
Okay.
I think this one's a little bit more up and down the ice 4-3.
All right. I have 3-2 in overtime. Canes win.
That's fair.
Aho with the opener, Aho with the game winner, Aho with multiple points. Obviously. There you go. That does it for us here on Overdrive. More Canes, or in The Drive. More Canes coming up on Overdrive. Enjoy the game right here on 99.9 The Fan. We'll see you tomorrow to break it down. Have a good one.
One goal.
Let's go, Canes!
Slavin, he gets it to Hall. Hall whips it across. Blake with a shot. He scores! It's over!
Hoist Lord Stanley's Cup.
Oh, this is going to be fun, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Wow. Playoff hockey. Here we go.
Here's a chance. Sebastian Aho in. Short hand back in. Scores! Oh, talk to me, Shorty! Carolina!
The Triangle's official home for the Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
This is the sound of Jack, buzz cutting his way to a small fortune. To Jack, every time he cuts his own hair, that's $50 right in his pocket. If Jack sees DIY buzz cuts as a saving strategy, Wells Fargo is right behind him. And with their mobile app, tracking his savings is easy. Oh, ouch. However you make money work, we can work with that.
Mobile carriers' message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.